Oh, I love that intro.
It's such a
I'm
good intro.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of putting that together, man. Yeah. So, hey everybody, it's Blue Jay here, and I'm with my good best friend Bianca. What's going on, Bianca?
I don't know him like that. It's a lie. I'm being trapped. Ah!
Oh my God.
Good to be
Yeah.
here.
No, what I decided to do is just to take over MME for just this one special occasion. There's nothing going on in this world. I mean, I know Max is on vacation, and I told him that I'm doing a little stream, and just something to fill out this gap whenever he's gone. Just it won't be any day without MME and stuff. So what I decided to do is to put together another tier list stream. So let's see, we got hey Bianca, I'm right next to you. What's going on, Cat? What's going on, man? So yeah, I put together a tier list stream for this special topic. So with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, I decided to do a tier list stream of the Fox Marvel films from ranging from X-Men to Fantastic Four, Deadpool, and Daredevil, and so on and so forth. So Max is on vacation. I don't know where the hell he's at, but I don't beats me, man. Um, so I did send the links to a few people. I mean, I sent to Bianca, then some had family emergencies, and God bless them. And they have their problems. They can deal with that, and hope everything does works the best for them. So Max is watching a movie for once. Oh, I wonder what kind of movie is that. Is he going to go see Aliens? I saw Alien this morning. This not too long ago. It was actually really good. I really enjoyed that new Alien movie. So well, uh, uh, you know, like that. So I don't like fan this quiet stuff. So let's play some music. Some very nice calm music. I like
My
that music.
friend watched that recent Aliens film.
No, yeah. How do they think?
He loved it. I think he gave it a 9.6 out of 10.
9.6.
Yeah, and I was like, that's very specific.
Okay. I've never seen anybody give a 9.6 before. Um, but and yeah, let's not waste any more time. And I might send links to a couple more people, so we'll see. Wait. Oh, never mind. Purpose is the enemy. So yeah, it's all good. If you not, if you can't make it, that's okay, man. As long as I'm not alone, because it's so awkward being alone when you're streaming sometimes. But anyways, let's not get. You know what? Let's change the background for a little bit. All right, let's get this down. And where is it at? Booyah! There we go. Much
We
better. Much better layout, much more comfortable looking, much more professional, quote unquote. So let's queue up the actual thing right now. Let's see what we got here. Put that up there. Have it to be shown. There we go. Now, here we have, let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19 19 films provided by Fox. And I know, yes, Deadpool Wolverine is technically not a Fox film, but I mean, it has Fox characters in there, so it's included there. I didn't create this list, so they created, so they added there, so it's there. So Per's been Per's been super busy this week. Yeah, yeah, I can
how
tell.
dare he?
Yeah, it's been kind of a busy week for us. You know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So, wonder, you know what? Say, see or nerd, do you want to come on the stream? If that's okay with you, buddy, because I want to have a little bit of a good dynamic going on. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll send you a link if you want to. So, but without further ado, let's get it
Do
started.
this thing. Let's
Let's
go.
do this. Fuck it, why not? Yeah. Hold on, let me do this shit real quick. Let me get Mr. Wait, where are you, senior nerd? God damn it, dude. What's your Twitter?
The Twitter.
Rent all of them. Rent all of them? Really? Interesting. Okay. X2 S tier. We'll see. We'll see, man. It's all right. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get this shit started. So now, our first film, X-Men 2000. The movie that started it all, X-Men in 2000. So now, I'm not to me. Let me get my thoughts on X-Men in general. Out of all the Marvel characters out there, I'm particularly not that big onto X-Men as a lot of people are, like in general. But I like the concept. I like some of the characters and what they've gotten, but it's not a franchise that I'm not necessarily that attached to, as suppose like Spider-Man. I've always been aware of X-Men, but it's just not something that I've been that crazy over. Heck, I didn't even see the movies when they were initially out when I was a kid, like when they were fresh out in theaters. Hell, this first movie came out in 2000. Like, I was born in 2000, funny enough. So
what?
Right, I was born in.
I'm 5 years older.
Yeah, I'm 24 years old. 24 years old. That's crazy.
I'm gonna be 29. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yep. So, but there was a point where I started to started to watch some of these movies. Like, I think they're on FX. They were playing these X-Men movies all the time. So I watched the first X-Men movie, and I actually enjoyed it. I liked it. And I know people were kind of like comic fans were kind of being hard. I can't say all of them. Well, some comic fans are being more hard assed on these movies because they're not comic accurate. But
I believe a little. There was something that what's his name? Scott said. He was like, when after Logan was like, "What's with the getup?" and he's like, "Oh, you wanted yellow spandex?"
Oh yeah, that line like riles some people up and stuff. Like you get stuff like that. And it's funny enough, they made a joke about that on X-Men 97, and they're like, "What do you expect? Black leather?" That shit's kind of funny to me. So, but like I'm a casual. I'm not that much of a comic nerd as a lot of people are. But I enjoy the movies as they are, and I'll be honest. Watching this, it's very 2000 like. Some of the stuff has not aged well, like visually wise. But this is the first film that had Hugh Jackman, or the first American film that Hugh Jackman appears. People forget that he's Australian sometimes. So,
me too.
Right. Yeah, he's really good. Good as Wolverine. I forget that like Rogue was a character in these, because these movies were kind of just so so blurred in together. Oh, here we go. Senior nerd, man. What's up, man?
Hello, what's up? What's up?
Yeah. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Nothing much. The tropical storm came around here this week.
Great.
Yeah, I was out with Susie for like 30 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like almost like till next week, but no, it came back to it came out around 2 on the Wednesday, no 1 o'clock. It's like 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and came back by by 6 the following day. So
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to finish my thoughts and stuff. Like, like for me as someone that's not a comic guy, I'm not that big of an X-Men guy, but I did like the first movie. So I did like the first movie. How remember people like to shit on the Fox movie sometimes, but remember people forget that this movie and the others have made an impact on the comic book movie genre. Like if we have not have these movies in Spider-Man, people might never get an MCU. And I'm not keep that in mind. So really not that much to really say about the first movie, but it's an enjoyable little film, very 2000s like, but I would give the movie some good ass shit. So Bianca, what you think of the first X-Men?
Well, when I saw it, I was around near 10. Scared the crap out of me when my cousin was watching it. But rewatching it while I'm older, I was like, this is pretty good. This is okay. I can see why everybody likes this. I am a person who didn't read comic books until 2017. But it was mostly DC stuff, not Marvel stuff. And when I did buy Marvel stuff, it would never be X-Men. Apparently, I'm more into the films of X-Men rather than the comic books of the X-Men. Even nowadays, every time I'm looking at the X-Men or even from the older stuff, I look at it and I'm like, it just doesn't seem interesting to me, and I don't understand why. That and Fantastic Four. For some reason, the dynamics don't really seem to interest me.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, thoughts on is there any favorite parts about the movie? Because I watched that. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I remember some parts.
Like any Magneto, Xavier, communication that's in the movie is always a favorite of mine. And then I feel like if I said anything with Hugh Jackman, I feel like that's also freaking biased. But he's also part of it. It's technically centered around Logan and more in the first movie than other characters. So like seeing what happened, how he got here, how he's gonna, get used to it and all that stuff. One of the cool parts is like when he accidentally stabs Rogue and then she kind of like takes his life force so she can heal herself. Also takes powers, sorry. And I was like, that's kind of cool, but that also scared me a lot.
Nice. So, what would you get the first X-Men?
The purple one. Some good ass shit.
Nice. All right. So you're a nerd. What you think, man?
Well, okay. So this came out 2000. What was I? 12? Something like that. 12 or 13. I was very excited because I watched the cartoon. I watched the 90s X-Men cartoon, and the fact they're going to make it into a movie got me super excited. And when I finally saw it, I bought this. Well, I didn't buy the DVD, but I got the DVD bought for me in like a DVD store in a casino that's in New York, no, Connecticut. I forgot what it's called. The Mohegan Sun. It was this casino, this big, luxurious hotel casino, and that's where I got the X-Men DVD. We have it's silver. It has sleeves on it, and some cool features. Yeah, that's what I saw. I enjoyed it when I first saw it, but as time goes on, years goes on, I like it less and less because it wasn't really X-Men enough for me. first and foremost, the costume. I think people think about the leather, the black leather, and the joke with Cyclops saying, what do you want? Blue and yellow?" And we're like, and comic book fans like, "Yes, we wanted that." And it's a good. It was a good starting point. Again, like the day, because of Batman and Robin, comic book movies couldn't be taken seriously, so they had to give it a little budget, not to explode the budget, expand the budget a lot, and take it seriously. And they took the X-Men seriously. I did like stuff with Magneto and Professor S, which, by the way, he was like Patrick Stewart was forever fan cast as Xavier. Like I have an issue of Wizard magazine that came out 5 years before this movie came out, and they have like Patrick Stewart as Professor X. So he's been a fan favorite for years. And Hugh Jackman, introduction. It doesn't age well to me. I think the movies got better. I feel it was a good introduction. I like some of the cast. Or when we get to as we get to more of the movies, I'm gonna have thoughts about Rogue and how they handle Rogue.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it was the first time we saw the X-Men live action, so we got excited. But then look back, it's like, well, Cyclops wasn't so much the leader.
It's like when you compare to the other comic movies that we got the past year, this one doesn't really age well, No.
And then there's something again. If you want to compare it to like the anime series, the '90s cartoon, you're like, that's the X-Men we want to see in live action. This one was pretty well, but I understand why they're doing it, because they cut the budget in half. Because again, Batman and Robin ruined comic book movies for years, and Blade and X-Men and Spider-Man pretty much brought it back to be taken to go back to people to loving it again. But I'm rambling, but it's just like it's a fine introduction, not the best introduction of the X-Men. So I would put in between. There are some good parts, but to me, it's the was it just rented? The rent,
like a rental.
It's a rental.
Okay.
Although I do own the DVD.
Okay. So RJ, welcome, buddy.
Hello, how we doing, guys?
Good.
Figured I'd stop by for a little bit.
Yeah, we're just starting off. Just made it in time. So what'd you think of the first X-Men movie in 2000?
Yes, I rewatched it recently, getting ready for Deadpool and Wolverine. Some aspects definitely haven't aged the best. It's a now 24-year-old movie, but there's a lot of inventiveness in terms of it. You look at it for the time it was made in the context of its release being the first live action interpretation of those characters, and really trying to take the comic book stuff a bit more seriously again. It's a fun movie. It's not the best X-Men movie, but I think it's a solid start. I'd probably put it in rental, if I'm looking at the scale here, because it's like really close to being top tier, but it's not the best one. So I'd probably put it in the third tier.
Okay, so let's see. Me and Bianca gave it some good ass shit. Senior Nerd gave it like a rental.
Yeah,
a rental. So it's like either.
Because if I'm doing like a number review, I'd probably it's on my Letterboxd. Let me go look real quick and see what I gave it, so I can give you a better. Because I'm trying to figure out how the tiers work.
I will give it like I don't think I didn't review on the Letterboxd. I'll give it 3 stars.
I gave it a 3.5. So okay. It's like right in the middle between purple and green.
I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give it this. I'll give it a rental. Yeah, I'll give it a rental. It seems fair. Also, Zeke. Hold on. I see where you're going with like Blade, but
Oh, Sony.
Technically
Sony.
not Fox.
Blade is not really Fox, but I do understand that like he's in Deadpool and Wolverine and stuff, but I don't know. I think if I were to add like Blade in there, I would have to add the other Marvel movies like Spider-Man and stuff, but we'd be here all freaking day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's also like
pre-MCU Marvel movies. We could be here all night.
yeah, like Sony's still going on with those pre-MCU movies, but they're playing footsies with them, so it's a little strange. But I understand like you want the Blade movies in there, but like I think like the Fox is kind of more interesting, but and I didn't really thought of that. I didn't even thought of Blade. So hey, how's it going, George? Man, how's it going, dude?
Who did the Blade movie?
Sony.
New Line.
It was it was New Line Cinema.
Which is weird because it's owned by Warner Brothers.
It was Warner Brothers at the time.
That was a weird.
New Line. Okay.
We could have got that crossover.
Crazy.
Yeah. So all right, X-Men Rental. All right, let's.
What about Ghost Rider? What was Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider was Sony.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Daredevil. And funny enough, I haven't seen this movie.
Ooh.
Really? Not any version of it?
Well, not Daredevil, not the Ben Affleck one. I've seen the Netflix one, but not the Daredevil.
No, I meant you haven't seen like the theatrical version of the movie or the director's cut?
I haven't seen neither.
Two?
I've seen parts of them. I just never really have that much of an interest to watch it. I mean, I'll watch it someday. I think it's on Hulu or whatever, but yeah, I've never. But I will say this: when I first heard of Daredevil, I was in 4th grade. My friend showed me a picture, like this cool comic book, and I thought it was the Flash at first because he's all wearing all red. I thought he was Flash. Like, oh, this is Daredevil. Like, who's Daredevil? It looks pretty cool though. So
yeah. So the thing with me is when it comes to Daredevil, if we're going off the director's cut, I'd say it's actually pretty good. If we're going off the theatrical cut, though, this is like a low tier rental for me. If it's the theatrical cut, the director's cut's a much better movie overall. The theatrical cut's okay, but it's the movie has issues. It's not a great movie. The director's cut makes it a good movie, though. So if I'm ranking this, I'm probably putting this like lower end of like the rental category, because I don't think it's a movie with a bunch of BS, but I don't think it's great either. So
okay, all right. I mean, I heard a lot of not so good things about it, but it is. I know DL likes it. It's a guilty pleasure, so interesting. But I gotta hate everything. I'm just kidding. Love you, DL.
I do. Okay, so yeah, I agree with RJ. The director's cut is far superior. I'll put it right in the purple. Good ass shit. It's really, really well done. It's like pretty much like it's in tone with like the Netflix series, because there was like more of the lawyer side of Matt Murdock and Foggy that we did not see in theatrical. They cut everything to do with Foggy and the Nelson Murdock dynamic, where they're in court and being lawyers. They cut that in the theatrical cut for the theatrical, and you get more of that in the directors. And the best part of both versions was Michael Clarke Duncan as Kingpin.
Yeah, he's a standout in that movie for sure.
Perfect cast. And you know what? I have fun watching Colin Farrell as Bullseye. You could tell he thought this was like a wacky job. He thought he had fun. You could tell he was having fun in the character. Jennifer Garner, even though I cheer when she showed up in Deadpool Wolverine, she was totally miscast as Elektra. It was not a good pick.
Everybody cheered for her in that movie, man. It's like everybody
because we're like, but we were shocked. It was like, whoa, she came back? But it was great to have her back, and she was better in Deadpool and Wolverine as Elektra than Daredevil and then her own movie. But I thought she was, and I thought Ben Affleck was a good Matt Murdock Daredevil. I like the suit. I like the soundtrack. I had the soundtrack. If we're going with the theatrical version, I'll give it also in rental along with the first X-Men.
Okay, all right. Bianca, any thoughts?
Rental.
Rental.
Yeah.
This movie was an experience.
It had a
Okay.
banger soundtrack at least with the Evanescence.
Oh yeah, I still had the sound. The music was great. That's where Evanescence came out. That's how they become popular because of this movie.
Yeah, they have that song in the movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and my immortal were both in the
I'll probably get around and watching it if I have the mood. So, yeah. Well,
I agree
there you go.
deadly. I think Bullseye and Kingpin were a great highlight.
There was like fun cameos. There was Stan Lee, who of course created. Frank Miller show up. There was a Kevin Smith who wrote a storyline in the Daredevil comics. He had cameos.
And he wrote Daredevil for a few years actually.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh,
He also did
So,
some
I mean-
Batman
He did,
Yeah.
yeah.
and Green Arrow.
But yeah, it's a fun. The theatrical is a fine movie. It's not the worst. You'll say it's like the worst comic movie of all time. I see Daredevil's not that bad.
Oh shoot! It's the George. How's it going, George?
Still alive, so that's the positive.
Yeah, I saw your thing. I was like, oh shoot, man. I hope you're
Yo,
doing
no,
all
it
right.
was the last day of camp, and I don't know, a kid was like so upset, and I was walking, and he almost slammed a chair against my head, not seeing me. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, so I don't know, my life flashed before my eyes, but I'm still alive. I'm not harmed.
No,
I missed it by a second.
It was like a
You got
folding
the
chair.
reflex.
No, it was like one. No, not. It
George!
wasn't even a folding chair. It was.
Like wait, a plastic one, one of those plastic ones.
I'll see if I can find a picture of it, like to show. But yeah,
So,
no,
like,
it's like a school chair. It's like one of the school chairs.
Oh dear God! Oh my God, those things.
Fucking goodness.
Yeah,
gracious.
like one of those things.
God damn. So, well, what'd you think of? Actually, no. So, what'd you think of Daredevil, George? A little quick thoughts.
I agree. It's just rent the damn thing. I mean, it has a good cast. It's nothing spectacular though.
All right. So, and that's Daredevil, and let's get to X2, X-Men United, and I really liked it. I really love this movie, dude. I think this is my favorite. Well, this is most people's favorites of the original 3 X-Men films. I like the strikers, like the attack at the mansion was cool. The Nightcrawler opening scene was awesome.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it was cool. I haven't. Gosh, I gotta remember. I did remember the one scene where Iceman was in the kitchen and Wolverine comes in and it's always like little things when they use their powers. So they just say, he grabs a cola and the Iceman just frees it up like that. I was like, I like little cool dynamics like that.
I think it was a beer. Was it not a beer?
No, it was like soda.
No, there was the mansion doesn't have
Was it-
alcohol.
Yeah, that was soda or whatever. I did remember someone pointed out that the NSYNC song Bye 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 was in the song, so it was a precursor to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
So that was funny. That was funny, and I've always liked stupid shit like Wolverine using his claws to turn the ignition on. I was like, okay, that was kind of silly, but I like stupid shit like that.
Well, I mean, Iceman also cool in the soda.
Yeah. But all in all, it's a solid, fun movie. I thought it's better than the first film. It's a whole lot of fun, and I would give this some good ass shit. But let's see what you guys think of X2. So Bianca, go ahead.
Again, like the first. Actually, no. It's the very first one. It's the blue one. It's Let's Effing Go.
Let's effing go. Okay.
Yeah, apparently, like everybody else, number 2 is the one I enjoyed the most.
All right. Senior nerd.
Oh, this is fantastic. This was pretty much what we wanted the first movie to be. It dwelled more into like the theme of the comics was about, racism and discrimination, and the government fear of these mutants and they want to get rid of them. And I thought Brian Cox Stryker was a great villain. It wasn't just Magneto. It was always Magneto's the villain. They had like a human military guy who wants to eradicate the mutants. And it was the Nightcrawler scene was really fun to watch. And the scene that stands out was when they were hiding in Bobby's Iceman's parents' house, and that's where they found out that he's a mutant. And it's the way that scene was so Bobby coming out to his parents. His parents were like, "Can you not be a mutant?" I thought that was a really great scene, and I love this movie a lot. This was pretty much what we wanted X-Men movies, and then the ending where they teased Dark Phoenix was really fun. Too bad we never got a good Dark Phoenix story after they didn't follow up with a good one. But I thought the teaser at the end was really great. So I'll give this top tier. The what's called the blue.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, this is my favorite, one of my favorite X-Men movies.
All right. RJ.
Yeah, it's another one I revisited during that little marathon I did. Yeah, it's rewatching it, I was really surprised by just how strong the movie is. It's just great from beginning to end. I think it's definitely one of the best Marvel films Fox ever made. It's got to go in the top tier category. It's got to go LFG.
All right, George.
LFG. This isn't just one of the best X-Men movies. It's one of the best comic book movies ever made. It's got great action. I feel like of the 3 X-Men movies, this is the one where it feels like a lot of characters shine, not just Wolverine, but other characters as well.
Plus, too, I forgot to mention too, I love the trope of the villains from the previous movie have to work with the heroes to defeat a greater enemy. But they're still villains.
Common enemy stuff.
But they're still villains and they still want to do their own thing, or they're still going to screw over the heroes, but they're just doing what they need to do to do what they got to do.
But I also want to add that Nightcrawler opening scene was top tier. The stuff with Bobby's family was powerful. Wolverine learning more about his past also powerful. I'm gonna be honest. It's always a toss up as far as X-Men movies for me between this and Days of Future Past. Like they're movies that I rewatch at least once a year, both X-Men movies, and it's always like a toss up between which one is the better one for me. Because I'm gonna be honest, I actually think X2 and also Days of Future Past, I actually prefer them over the first Avengers movie. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're that strong of movies, in my opinion.
Interesting.
So it goes in the let's fucking go category. And compared to the first X-Men movie, I feel like the special effects in this movie aged very well. Especially like the pyro stuff, like at Bobby's house. Like those special effects are still great nearly over 20 years later.
I can't believe that movie's even those first 2 movies are 20 years old. And even the third one's gonna be 20 years old as well. This is crazy, man. Crazy. All right. Well, we got X-Men. Now let's get to Fantastic Four. Now I'm curious to see how you guys think of the first the first official release Fantastic Four, not the Roger Corman one, the official one, the first official one in 2005. And I remember I saw this movie when I was 5 years old in the theater.
Yeah, I think I saw this one in theaters too, if I remember.
And honestly, when you looking back at this right now, compared to the rest of these Fantastic Four movies, still think this is the best one that we ever gotten so far.
Yeah. She
Yes.
says a lot.
It has a sense of fun. I mean, yeah, I know people shit on how dumb they can be, how stupid, like the stupid humor and crap like that. But like, compared to you know who, this is better than this is the best of what we got. And then I'm pretty sure the MCU version is going to be trampled the rest of them by a country mile, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, I actually like the cast. It's not too terrible. I mean, I liked I keep mispronouncing his name. Was it Iowan Griffith, whatever how you pronounce his name? As every time I see him like post Fantastic Four, I think I'm as Reed.
I think it's either Ian Grufford or Owen Grufford. I think it's Ian
Yeah.
Grufford though.
I like Ian Gruffit, like Gruff, because it's always weird to pronounce those names. But I always like the actor. Whenever time he appears, so I just call him Reed Richards and stuff. Chris Evans pre Captain America, like wow, who could imagine as a Captain America, two Marvel characters at once. And Michael Chiklis, I like that guy. I even like the freaking suit. I mean, yeah, they give him a suit. It does look pretty weird, cheeky looking and stuff. But hey, I mean, he looks what he's supposed to look like. But Jessica Alba, I mean, she's pretty, and that's all I can say. But so yeah, it's an enjoyable film. I mean, I liked it for what it is. Yes, it does have its stupid moments and stuff, but like I said, compared to the rest of these Fantastic Four movies, compared to you know who, this is the best one that we gotten hopefully for next year. So it's gonna be a little hard, but I would just say it's still very light, some good ass shit. So, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. So, Bianca, go ahead.
I probably give this movie way too much hype. I put it in the purple.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Boy,
nostalgia I get for this
Fantastic
movie, so
Four.
I watch them from time to time. So yeah, Senior Nerd.
Oh, I do not like this movie. I do not. I've seen like 2 times, and I'll say this guy, Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis, they were perfect casting as Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm. I thought that was great casting. Ian Gruffin, he looked like Reed Richards. That's what I do. He looked like Reed Richards out of the comics. Jessica Alba, I don't know what. Again, she was hot at the time. She was the it girl, but it's like they gave her like a blonde wig, or they dyed her hair blonde and gave her blue eye contact to make her look like comic book Sue Storm, and this. Right. And then who? I forgot the guy who the guy who played Dr. Doom. He's on that show that took.
I don't even remember the actor that played Dr. Doom. That's how forgettable he was.
And he was like, the only reason he was there because it's a Fox movie. He was in Nip Tuck, which was at the time FX most popular show.
Julian McMahon, that's his name.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, what was Dr. Doom in this movie? He wasn't like the leader of Latveria, like in the comics. He was just part of the scientists. It was like part of the. It was in when they were in space and got hit by the cosmic ray. And what was his powers? Like he slowly.
Kind of electricity, I think. That was the idea.
It's just
that put our blank out on.
Look, we get to when we get to the other Fantastic Four reboot, we just gotta say, when we think about Robert Downey Jr., just give us a better Dr. Doom, please.
Please.
Well, at the very least, this movie's Dr. Doom looks like Dr. Doom, whatever the fuck he is in Van Forstig.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But it looks like and then other than that, I thought again the only good part was Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm. So, but yeah, it's what did they call it? Yeah, bullshit. Yeah,
Bullshit.
same old bullshit. Yeah.
Same old bullshit. Okay. RJ.
This is tough because I haven't watched this movie in a very long time, so a lot of it's kind of a blur to me because I don't remember much of it. I remember bits and pieces in certain scenes but like I don't know, I can't even remember which ones are which between the first film and the Silver Surfer film. If I'm going off of memory, I'm gonna say this is a low tier rental. Because I don't want to put it in the BS category because I think it is better than the other films, but it's not great. It's barely decent. It's okay. But again, I haven't watched this movie in years. I don't remember much about it. But I'm going to put it in the low tier rental category.
All right. George.
It's at least more rewatchable to me than Daredevil.
I mean,
you're probably right. I just haven't watched that movie. I haven't watched the movie in years. I have to revisit it one of these days.
I like the main four Fantastic Four cast. I think they were casted well, and it felt like they had chemistry, at least, which is important for a Fantastic Four movie. Not huge on Doctor Doom, but considering what we would later get in the 2015 film, I've grown to appreciate this version of Doom more. Michael Chiklis looks like my uncle, so I got a special place in my heart for Michael Chiklis as the Thing. Chris Evans was entertaining. Costumes were fine. Special effects were okay. I think what hurt this was it just had a bland story. I think if this had a better story, this probably could have been one of the better comic book movies of the 2000s. Maybe not as good as X2 or the first two Spider-Man movies, but maybe up there with the first X-Men movie. I would rank this higher than Daredevil, but not higher than the first X-Men movie. I still like the first X-Men movie quite a bit. So I would probably put it in just Rent the Damn Thing in between X-Men and Daredevil.
Okay, so
because it does have rewatchability, I will say that. Like the last time I rewatched this movie, I think it was one of CJH's watch parties with CJH and Max. I think that was like the last time I watched it, almost 2 years ago. So it's still kind of recent in my mind. So I would say just Rent the Damn Thing.
Okay, this is an interesting situation right now. So me and Bianca gave it some good ass shit. Senior gave it bullshit, and then you two got rental. So
well, can I share where I would have put the first X-Men movie just to kind of show you where I'm at with this?
Okay, yeah.
So I would have put the first X-Men at some good ass shit, even though I think some things didn't age well with that movie, but I still think story wise it was a very good movie with good casting. So that's why I can't really put Fantastic Four up on some good ass shit, along with the concerns I had with the movie. I don't think it's better than the first X-Men movie.
Okay, so
that's why I wanted the first X-Men movie to be on some good ass shit.
I didn't come in on time to put my vote in.
I guess Fantastic Four would go in rental, man.
Yeah, we'll put
I mean, here's the thing. There's three categories that are worse than just Rent the Damn Thing. Like, getting the third highest is actually still pretty good for it.
I'll put this in the middle.
Yeah.
You're still recommending the movie. Just don't go see it in theaters if it came out in theaters again.
Yeah, well, fine.
So I'll jump the gun a little bit.
Listen. There are worse movies that we haven't even gotten to on this list yet.
Yeah.
In fact, one of them is coming up right now, from what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about Elektra.
So I'll go first.
Oh
real
my
quick, 'cause
God.
I have not seen this movie, so
Okay.
I
Me
can't
too.
say anything about it. I haven't seen it.
I've seen parts of Elektra, but I mean, I wouldn't say I watched the entire movie, but there's a parts. Well, I will say I did watch the Nostalgia Critic review of Elektra, and there were parts of it where I was like, "What the fuck?" There was a part. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody's fortunate enough to watch it, there was a part where the guy was being intimidated by Elektra. Like he's trying to and Elektra's pointing the freaking sides. Like, where is this villain have to find? And, you'll never find him. And then he cracks his neck and kills himself. I don't know. I remember that scene. That's the thing I only remember. Like he
cracked his own neck.
Yeah, he cracked. Yeah, he broke his own neck. Like he turns his head and just on its own. Like,
I still find it so weird that they made an Elektra spin-off movie instead of a Daredevil 2. That was always just so weird to me.
Oh,
That
so
was the
that's
choice.
what it was?
I guess it was for Jennifer Garner because she was hot at the time.
Well, I think maybe it's because Daredevil 2.
Still hot.
Yeah, maybe Ben Affleck
he is hot, but
Daredevil 2 or something. They decided, okay, let's just make an Elektra spin-off movie.
Well, Daredevil was a hit. It was a minus hit. So they thought a spinoff would be a good idea, but they should have done. I look at it because I think this took place. I don't know the timeline. Did this take place before she died in the movie or after?
It's after. I think in Elektra
it's after.
resurrected.
Okay,
And
then
So
I
that
think
could
if
be
I
all-
remember correctly, in Elektra, she doesn't remember what happened to her. She just knows.
okay. Well, so like they're doing the thing where like the hand resurrect her.
Kinda, not really. I don't even
kinda.
remember exactly. I know vaguely stuff about the movie. I just know that she comes back to life, and like Daredevil's not really in it except for like flashbacks, I think.
Okay, but that could have been if the whole plot is her coming back from the resurrected from the hand. That could have been Daredevil 2, like in Daredevil season 2, where it's like, it was like she with the hand Electra died, and then she came back in the Defender miniseries. But anyways,
Can we talk about the fact that this came out a year after Catwoman came out?
Oh, don't get me started on Catwoman.
Like seriously,
Oh my God.
what was up with the 2000s having these really bad female-led superhero movies? Listen, I don't want to hear anyone say another bad thing about Captain Marvel or the Marvels after they watch Catwoman and Elektra. I'm not saying those movies are great, but those movies are. Let's
are
fucking
way
go
better.
I would say I will
those
watch
movies.
Wonder Woman 84 over Catwoman and Electra.
I agree with that as well.
I don't
But that
mind
movie's Let's
84,
Fucking
but
Go
I-
compared to those two.
Yeah, but those are the time we're getting better comic book movies than we get last time. So I'm just saying, yeah, like
But here's the thing: like, if anyone wants to complain about bad female-led superhero movies, this is one of them, unfortunately. And it's not Jennifer Gardner's fault. It's just a forgettable movie. Like, I've seen this movie and I even forgot what the plot is. I mean, it's been a long time, but it's just nothing really stood out
I
with
might
it.
watch Catwoman over 1984.
oh, is it that bad?
Like,
For me, as a Wonder Woman fan, but also as somebody who's not a fan of Gal Gadot. Yes.
I
At
agree.
least
I
Catwoman
agree,
was
Anthony.
something like it was not comic book related at all. Just name, and then they just did whatever with her.
Well,
Alright,
here's the other thing. I'd actually rewatch Catwoman over Elektra because Catwoman's so bad it's hilarious. I don't know. I got to rewatch Elektra honestly, just because it's been a long time. But I just remember it being so dull and not interesting. Jennifer Garner is really the only thing worth watching in the movie.
So would you give this, George?
Right now, I give it wipe my ass quality. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's been a long time since I've rewatched it, but I just don't remember anything unique about this movie.
All right, so whenever
And it's not even so bad, it's hilarious. I mean, I know we haven't gotten to Fan 4 Stick yet, but if anything, it's at least better than Fan 4 Stick.
So whenever a movie gets a wipe my ass quality,
Take that shit. Wipe your booty with it. Look at it. You're never gonna get.
all right. RJ, you haven't seen it, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay. See your nerd.
No, I haven't seen it, but just I know it's like one of the worst.
Okay. Bianca, have you seen Elektra? Bianca.
I have not seen it.
Oh,
I was constantly told to avoid it.
Oh, okay. So George has seen Elektra. Huh.
So pretty
Ever
much,
since I was young, I
George
was
is the
told
only
to
one
avoid it.
Yeah, so George is the only one whose vote counts.
Okay, so Elektra is a wipe my ass quality. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Take a wet wipe. Wipe the booty. Smell it. Your shit about to be fresh as fuck.
All I can say is I'm glad Elektra got to
Wait,
redeem
but why do
herself
I have
in
to
Deadpool
smell it? I don't
Wolverine.
have to smell it.
Yeah, was he just? Oh my god. Okay.
Thank you, Deadpool Wolverine, for redeeming her at least.
Oh
Yes.
man. Any like I said, anytime a movie gets a wipe my ass quality.
Take a wet wipe. Wipe the booty. Smell it. Your shit about to be fresh as fuck.
I still love that drop.
You got two of them.
Yeah, I got two of them. Yeah. All right. So it's gonna be interesting. Let's get back to X-Men.
Oh,
The
boy.
Last Stand.
Oof.
Oh boy.
All right.
I'm scared.
I want to go first.
All right, let's go, RJ. Let's go.
I have a hot take.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So I revisited this movie, like I said, during the marathon for Deadpool Wolverine. Get ready for that. Maybe this is a potential hot take, but the movie is not nearly as bad as people.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Well, keep me out too, because I agree with RJ.
Did you kick him down, RJ?
No. I think it just glitched. I'm on.
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought you-
I literally thought
Trying to
that-
silence censorship.
Yeah,
Censorship.
I
Yeah.
literally
Wait,
thought
you're a
somebody
Musk?
kicked you out because
No,
you was about to
but-
say a
yeah,
hot
but
take.
we're
I
ready to
swear
cut
to
off.
God, I did not do that. I'm the only one controlling this whole thing.
This summer I had a fifth grader.
I was going
I
to
had-
finish my point.
This summer I had a fifth grader that was complaining about First Amendment rights. I'm like, you're in fifth grade. What do you know about First Amendment rights, kid?
All right, RJ, go ahead, dude.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like revisiting this movie, it's not nearly as bad as people say it is. Now, is it great? No. It's easily the weakest of the trilogy. But when you look at X-Men The Last Stand compared to some of the other X-Men movies we got, it's much better. For me, this is kind of going to be controversial, but I think I'd put this in the rental category. Like I said, I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's horrible either. I think it's okay. It's decent. It's got some really great stuff in it, some great action set pieces. It has some really good character moments, like with Beast and stuff, and Magneto. Magneto gets to do some really cool stuff in this movie. The Dark Phoenix storyline is definitely butchered, and you can see that there were some issues with the production because they lost some actors and Bryan Singer to Superman Returns. But the movie they made is fun. So
Okay, so with me, The Last Stand, I'm with you, RJ. I don't think it's as terrible as people make it out to be. It is a jumbled mess. I'll give you that.
yeah, it's got issues, but I think it's a fun. The thing with this movie is that it's definitely more about the fights, and it's more about this big battle, this big climax, and it's really just a strung along story to get there. But the stuff in it, I think there's some good stuff in it. There's good enough stuff in it to carry it along to where it's okay.
It's one of those movies where you get like a third film, and it's like a movie that tries to do way too much, like Spider-Man 3.
Like it's trying to wrap up all these storylines too. if you
Yeah,
think
like
about
I
it.
love Spider-Man 3, but that movie has so many plots going on than I remember. So like they're trying to do this thing with the mutant cure, and then you have the Dark Phoenix stuff that kind of felt sudden. I know they set it up, but it does feel a little sudden with the story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah, they really just should have focused on just the Dark Phoenix stuff, to be honest, because it feels like the movie has two plot points it wants to do with the mutant cure and the Dark Phoenix stuff, but it spends way more time with the mutant cure than it does the Dark Phoenix stuff, where it's like, well, what was the point of Dark Phoenix being in the movie?
Yeah, I'll give
Not
you
my
that.
decision, Samir. It was not my decision. I said it was above.
So, yeah, but there's a couple things I do like about the movie. I mean, everybody played their part well, and I did like the bridge scene where Magneto lit the bridge up and just moved it around, and that was great. And then you got the "I'm a Joker now, bitch!" like that.
Well,
I
actually,
like that
one of my
line.
favorite lines in the movie is there's a line where I think it's Calypso asks him where they marked him, and Magneto shows his tattoo from the Holocaust, and he says, "No ink shall ever touch my skin again." And I was like, damn, that's a banger line for this movie. All right.
So yeah, all in all, I mean, it's clearly the weaker of the X-Men films. I mean, I don't really watch it as much as the first two, but I get some enjoyment out of it. I would just I'll give it a rental and stuff. So yeah, Bianca, any thoughts?
Rental.
Rental? All right. So you're
Yeah,
a nerd?
it's not as bad as, say, Electra. But, you know, people still actually tell me to watch it over Electra.
All right. So, Singer Nerd, what you think of The Last Stand?
Yeah, I agree with RJ. People overblown it, say it's like one of the worst comic book movies. I don't think it is. I don't think it's the worst X-Men movie. I see the list. We'll go down. There's worse. I think because X2 was so good, compare X-Men 3 to X2. Yeah, this is the weakest. But there's a lot of good stuff there. I think like in terms of like emotional scenes where after Jean killed Professor X and then Wolverine and Storm were crying. I thought that was a really good, powerful scene where they were mourning Charles' death. There was a lot of cool action scenes, and Kelsey Grammer as Beast. That was a great casting. He is like perfect as Beast, and yeah, the Dark Phoenix stuff was handled very terribly. Psylocke is in this movie. If you guys don't know that, but she was like so minor and she didn't use her powers.
Oh yeah, she looked like Go-Go from Big Hero 6 with the purple stain in her hair.
Juggernaut. Oh god, we didn't talk about Juggernaut. I didn't know that line that came from a meme. I didn't know that. I didn't see the meme yet. I'm the Juggernaut bitch line. So I was like, oh, that's funny. And then it's like, no, it's from this meme that was like from the early days of YouTube. It's like, oh, well, that was lame. Oh yeah, and Kitty Pryde. I like how the Kitty Pryde, who was like literally a background character the first two, is the main focus. I like that. I like that they put Kitty Pryde right front, like in now part of the team. Same thing with Colossus. Like he's not part of the team. So I like that they were bringing like new people in. So yeah, I think yeah, it's kind of interesting what happened if Bryan Singer stay in X2, or it was Bryan Singer left, then Joss Whedon, then he left, then Matthew Vaughn, then he left, and then went with Brett Ratner.
Yeah, it was Brett Ratner that directed this movie, and it's Simon Kinberg that wrote the script.
Yeah. So it's made me think like if they stay with Singer, if Singer didn't do Superman Returns, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. I'll give it a rental.
All right. Wait, what would you get this movie again?
Rental.
A rental. All right. Also, Max, welcome home, buddy. How was your vacation, dude? You were having a good old grand old time. You need a vacation, man. Shoot. And also, Cal, you are so old, dude. I'm fucking with you.
I kept forgetting you were on vacation, and I almost kept like wanting to DM you, and I'm like, oh frick, that's right, he's on vacation. I shall wait.
I will say I forgot to mention one thing. I did not like how they handled because James Marsden was so Superman Returns, they had to just kill off Cyclops right away. Did not like that.
I'm like, why would you even need James Marsden for Superman Returns anyway?
And also just recast, just get a new actor. But anyway, that was a waste. And then they did a weird end credit scene that didn't follow up, where like Professor X was in another body. If you remember that?
I don't remember.
There was an end credit scene where like Myra, who she's mental patients, and then you hear Professor X voice on a patient's body. and that's the thing, like his subconscious into Facia's body. So I think it was like that's how he survived, but they didn't follow about that because Fox doesn't give a fuck about continuity.
Yeah. Well, George, what'd you think of The Last Stand?
This is a mixed bag because on one hand, this film does some things very well. On the other hand, I think it also does too much. I know Spider-Man 3 also does a lot, but X-Men has a lot more characters than Spider-Man, so obviously there's a lot more plot lines, a lot more character arcs to go around, and I think what didn't help was the shifting of directors, which, by the way, this was actually like a lose-lose situation because obviously Bryan Singer went on to direct Superman Returns, and that movie, well, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it's forgettable. It's not exactly the ideal Superman movie, but I mean, there's still some good things in this movie, but I would say, like, I would rank it above Daredevil, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've rewatched this movie. I actually plan on rewatching it this week to review X-Men movies I haven't seen yet. Right now, I would probably go back and rewatch Fantastic Four over X-Men The Last Stand. That's just kind of how I would do things. Like, it's got some really good plot lines, but I don't know. It could be the fact that it's not the same director. But I also heard somewhere that Matthew Vaughn, who directed First Class, was supposed to direct this movie, but I don't know if it was studio disagreements. He ultimately didn't direct the movie, so I'm always curious what would have happened if Matthew Vaughn got to direct the movie, because he did a very good job with First Class, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
I think I remember something. I think he said recently that he read a decoy script that was going to give to Halle Berry on how she was like hesitant to come back to X-Men as Storm. So they gave her a script. They were supposed to give her the script where it starts with her in Africa, bringing water to like an African country, and to make her more powerful. And that was supposed to be the script. Matthew Vaughn didn't like that. It's like, well, so we're gonna shoot this scene. Say, no, this is for so we could trick Halle Berry into this movie. And Matthew Vaughn didn't like that, so then that's why he dropped out.
Right. So I guess we're gonna give X-Men The Last Stand. Let's see, where would I put this? But maybe above Daredevil.
I'll put above. Yeah, I'll put above Fantastic Four. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this seems more right. All right. So let's get back to Fantastic Four again.
Also, can I add the one thing that really did annoy me with Last Stand? It's just like how Cyclops was treated at the beginning of the movie, just killing him off.
Oh, and you know what? No, I forgot to mention this. Rogue. That she went out and got the cure at the end. That's not Rogue. She doesn't, take away her powers just for a boy. That's
another thing. I mean, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of James Marsden, but I think Cyclops as a character deserved better. That's just me.
Yeah.
But what?
You're not a fan of James?
I got my own personal reasons why I don't care for James Marsden anymore that I'm not going to disclose on stream. Maybe after the stream I'll mention it, but
I know.
Yeah, I'm not. I
probably know.
I'm not going to say why.
All right, so
Cyclops as a character deserves better, though. That's what I'll say. So regardless of how I feel. Yeah, same thing with Rogue, especially because I like Rogue in these X-Men movies as well.
She is great.
Yeah, I want the tank like in the anime series, the flying badass Southern gal. I don't think she didn't even say sugar in any of these movies. I was like,
all right, finished.
I can run all day about Rogue.
Oh boy, these next two are going to be real fun to talk about.
Yeah, also, thank you, Dead Guy Productions. Thank you so much, dude. This is such a gentleman. And RJ said this in the chat. And this, sorry I couldn't stay longer, guys. No worries, dude. But Fan Force is the toilet paper I'll use to wipe later. All right, I'll put that on the damn thing. on the damn. I'll put that as a drop. So, all right. So let's get back to Fantastic Four, where Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh gosh.
I like the first movie. I liked it fine. I mean, it is. I do tell it is a little more dumber than the first one. I think this is the only Marvel film is rated PG. If I'm not mistaken, this is rated PG. That's how kiddish this is.
Oh my god!
Right away, that's a red. That's a.
Yep, it's rated PG. I looked at IMDb. It's rated PG. Oh my god!
Lord.
Wow, wow.
For goodness sakes,
no
it's rated lower than half the Harry Potter movies.
That's actually that's really funny to me. So
Spider-Man movies were both PG-13. Like what?
Right, it's funny. Like Into the Spider-Verse is more adult than this one.
Yes.
Across the Spider-Verse is more adult than this as well.
Exactly. So I mean, I it's been a while since I watched this one. It's like the first one. The only thing I ever remember was just the commercial. I remember I was 7. I used to see the commercials of Human Torch with the thing rocks as the skin. I was like, oh my god, it's the Silver Surfer stuff, and that's kind of okay. The Galactus Cloud thing was pretty fucking stupid. Like the Galactus Cloud, I was like, okay, whatever, dude. But I liked the Silver Surfer. I liked how he looked. I mean, that's what he looks the most accurate looking thing you can do with a live action Silver Surfer, and other than that, it's just kind of the same thing. I mean, maybe I like it a little less than the first one, but I enjoyed it as it is. I mean, it's a rental, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. So, Bianca.
Rental?
Okay. See you, nerd.
I hate this movie. It's I can't. It's so bad. It's anything people said their criticism towards the MCU. This is the movie they're talking about. If you talk about every criticism he said by the MCU since Phase 1, you're actually talking about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like, it's just a dumbed down, almost like Joel Schumacher level of corniness and campiness. Very cringy dialogue. Silver Surfer looked good, and I like the Force Fishburne's performance. Other than that, it's just and the military stuff was stupid. And then again, Doctor Doom, what the hell they're doing, Doctor Doom? Like
Chaos in the only true answer.
I guess the thing was like he's supposed to be kind of like Super Skrull, where he got all their powers, but he used of course, Crazy don't like this movie. If it's shit, Crazy will like it. But it's just. And then I was waiting for Galactus. I was like, waiting for this.
Where you going, Bianca?
I was waiting for this big.
Forgot to mute myself. I apologize, Emily. I was trying to voice out for something else.
I was annoying her because I'm just ranting about this.
No, you're good, Sienna. You go ahead, man.
I'm trying not to laugh so hard right now. I might mute.
Okay, go ahead, Sienna.
I just like this movie a lot. I saw so I saw the trailer or the preview for MCU Fantastic Four: First Step, and they showed Galactus. I am so excited because it's Galactus what we wanted. It's not a fucking cloud. So, yeah, this is bullshit.
Dumb bullshit. Okay, George.
Actually, no. Actually, no. Wipe my ass. It's wipe my ass.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what that means, everybody.
Take a wet wipe. Wipe the booty. Smell it. Your shit about to be fresh as fuck.
Yeah, that's my least favorite. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is some old bullshit. I'm sorry. While Silver Surfer I thought was cool, the they messed up Galactus so badly in this movie. To me, that is unforgivable. This movie has a shorter runtime than the first movie. I'm sorry, I feel like had they just kept the tone of the first movie and like maybe like made things as enjoyable, it could have been another just rant the damn thing, but it's just another messy Fox movie that came out at an interesting time. It feels like, you know, the era of 2005 to 2007, you know, those few years we were getting some really iffy Marvel brand movies from Fox and Sony.
Yeah.
I tell you, like, this is why the first Iron Man movie is so important, because not only did it help comic book movies, I think it saved the Marvel brand as far as Marvel movies in theaters go.
I think after X-Men 2 and Spider-Man 2, we never had a really good superhero movie until Batman Begins. Then
that's DC. I'm talking about Marvel brand.
I'm talking about comic book movies as a whole, throughout all those studios. It was like Batman Begins, and then we got crap, and then 2008 was when we both got 2008, both Iron Man and Dark Knight, and that was like, okay, now we're going to the golden age, and then things got better after 2008 for comic book.
Let's see, after Spider-Man 2 was what? Blade Trinity, crap. Fantastic Four, I wouldn't call it crap, but not that great.
Yeah.
Then we had X-Men: The Last Stand. Then we had I like Spider-Man 3, so I can't really crap on Spider-Man 3. I can crap on Spider-Man 3. I think it's underrated in my opinion. But Ghost Rider and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Ugh. Oh, and Elektra. That's how forgettable Elektra is. I forgot that movie came out in that span.
All right, so let's see. Rise of the Silver Surfer. Me and Bianca got rentals. Senior Nerd and George gave it. Senior Nerd gave it to wipe my ass. So, you know what? I probably have to bar this down to some bullshit at the very least. So, I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, but let's get to the real bullshit. All right.
Oh gosh.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Let me start.
God, dude. You know what? Let me start first. So after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, I was in the mood of watching the Wolverine movies, particularly. I just love seeing Hugh Jackman kick ass all the time. So I watched the Wolverine first. Just actually liked Wolverine more. I liked it. I really liked it. It's very underrated, but we'll get to that later. But I decided to watch Origins Wolverine, and my God, it was worse than ever, dude. Like, from a technical standpoint, editing, action, it is sloppy as fuck. Holy shit. I was like, it's not just like the Deadpool stuff, and we'll get to that either, like the Deadpool stuff and all that crap. It's just from a filmmaking perspective, it is crap. Like, holy shit. This movie is short, it got so much stuff going on, and these characters just don't seem all that interesting. Especially, and it's for a movie that is about the origins of Wolverine. It's pretty rushed. You know what I'm saying? It's not a particularly good movie. Not a good start for this Wolverine trilogy, and trust me, it gets better. So yeah, this movie is it's a so much bullshit. But I'll go to Senior Nerd first. It's what you think of Wolverine.
I fucking hate this movie. I fucking hate it. It's so bad. It's so bad. From filmmaker standpoint, and like when they're the character, and like pretty much rewritten the entire origins. Like we were told this was happened to Wolverine in the first movie, and then they redid the whole thing. And it's like he had this all new adventure that he forgot it because of a bullet in his head. That's how you forget.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And then oh my god, it's like some of the casting was good. Like I remember, it's like that would be a good movie, good Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. And you know who's gonna be a great Gambit? The guy from Friday Night Lights.
Taylor Kitsch.
And then they cast him. I was like, they did brilliant, but they fucked him up so badly, especially Deadpool. My God, thank God that Ryan Reynolds fell in love with the character and wanted to do it correctly. So thank goodness Ryan Reynolds did he's like, okay, well, don't care about it. It's like he really read the comics and it's like, oh my God, this character's like me. We should make this a franchise. And thank God Ryan Reynolds, but Taylor Hitch as Gambit was just poorly done. I didn't know what was his powers. Was moving cars, like in his hands. What?
Something then, like that.
I didn't. Oh my God! When the CGI on the claws.
Oh my God! It looked like Space Jam quality.
It's just. I was like, it was like freaking out Roger Rabbit. It was like, oh man! I hate this movie. Because I love Wolverine. It's also they were planning to do. It's called X-Men Origins Wolverine. They was going to do origin movie on. They was going to do it for Magneto, Anthony Mystique, and other characters with the X-Men Origin tagline. It was kind of like when they were going to do Star Wars stories.
Which I would have been against that if they actually made a better movie out of them.
Exactly, it killed it. That's why it's like. That's why it's the only one that has the X-Men Origins in the title. Because it was supposed to be like a series with those titles on it. So, wipe my ass. I wiped the ass with this. Play the clip.
Take that shit. Wipe the booty with it. Look at it. You're never gonna get.
Yeah. There you go. So, but I will say this. There was a couple things I did like about the movie. There's Hugh Jackman. There's that.
The beginning where they were fighting through the wars.
Yeah, that the opening, great. The motorcycle chase was cool. Gambit was cool.
No.
Gambit was cool. And
Leo Schreiber as Sabretooth was the best part.
He was cool too. So there's cool stuff in it. It's just
I like it so much. I was hoping he would show up in Deadpool Wolverine. I didn't like that was Taylor Haynes again. I thought it should have been more powerful. It was Leo Schreiber or Sabretooth than Taylor Haynes, who was in the first X-Men as Sabretooth.
Yeah, so wipe my ass. So I don't think it's going to get any higher than this, but well, we'll see. So George, what do you think of Wolverine?
Oh, this is another why my ass, and I got plenty of reasons why. First of all, this movie, every time something serious happens in this movie, it's followed up by something completely ridiculous and goofy. For example, after he gets the claws, it was established in some of the flashbacks in the early X-Men movies that he is in pain. Instead, they make it a comedic scene where he was running into the old people's home naked, and then when he finally puts the clothes on, he's testing out the bad-looking claws that look worse than the claws from any of the first three X-Men movies, and destroying the bathroom, like in a comedic way. I'm like, shouldn't this guy be in pain after getting this adamantium inside him?
Yeah, remember in the flashback in the first two X-Men, he was like covered in blood and he was screaming when the claws coming out of his hand. It was like a horror movie. Those shots in the flashbacks.
Also, remember like in the first movie when Rogue asks him if it hurts whenever he uses them, and he says every time. Another example, it's like after like we think the girlfriend's dead, it's just there should have been a more emotional weight to it, but there just wasn't. In one scene, like when he wakes up, he's just like screaming. I'm just like, good Lord, like the way he's screaming, it sounds like I'm not even gonna say it, but if you know, you know. And the other thing is, it's just Deadpool was so butchered in this movie. Thank goodness Ryan Reynolds got another chance to play this character the right way, because what they did to him in this film was horrendous and horrible. I agree, this version of Sabretooth was good, but that's not enough to save this piece of shit movie. And also, the way they interject some of the X-Men characters in this movie. Cyclops, like really, really.
What he remembers Wolverine? Wait, you're the guy that saved me when I was a kid?
Like the way that he was interjected. I'm sorry, I was not big on Gambit in this movie. I'm sorry,
No.
like it felt like he was just shoehorned in because people were waiting to see Gambit, because I think he was supposed to be in one of the other movies and never did. The way Patrick Stewart was interjected at the end of the movie made me just want to rip my eyeballs out and just throw it somewhere. The Blob stuff was ridiculous. Will.i.am, great musician, not a good actor.
No.
I get it. The Black Eyed Peas were really popular at that time. They were at an all-time high in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But I'm
I
sorry.
think it's funny that I can't even remember a single Gambit scene. I didn't see Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way.
fight
But
scene was
in
fine. Where they're
I don't
in the
remember.
hallway.
Unfortunately, I rewatched this movie right before the movie came out because I was reviewing Wolverine and Deadpool movies.
Oh,
And-
I'm sorry.
And here's the thing: for a movie that has so much happening, it feels like there's more happening in this movie than there was Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which are longer movies, and those movies get criticized for having so much shit happening. It feels like more shit was happening in this movie, and it was done in less than 2 hours, very crappily. And I get it, writer strike happened, but it was like they were working on this movie with an incomplete story or stuff just not finished. And it butchered the movie. I get it, this came out in 2009 when so many movies were suffering due to the writer strike. This was also the same year that a movie that me and Blue Jay like to poke fun at, Revenge of the Fallen, came out. But honestly, you know what? I'd rather rewatch Revenge of the Fallen than this.
Oh, so you mean this?
Why don't you get a haircut with your bitch ass?
Listen, at least that's so bad it's hilarious. This movie's
Yeah, the
trying to take it.
the racist old boss.
So the thing is, this movie's trying to take itself seriously, and it just fails to do it. And the times it's trying to be funny, it's not even funny.
No.
Oh, so
Also, Emma Frost is in this movie. A young Emma Frost. Like, why?
which is weird because she's in First Class the next.
Honestly, this movie is also the reason is part of the reason why there's timeline problems. This was the first sign
Oh my god!
that
Yes.
the X-Men timeline was gonna get messed up. So what?
So yeah, so it was brought up. Okay, so like,
Oh man.
why would Wolverine remember? If Professor X, so what's the last thing you remember? Well, I was like somewhere in Canada, and there was like an explosion happened. I said, that's strange. That was the time I picked up my first students. I picked up Scott and others. Like, wait a minute, were you like they were at the same time? But it was so dumb.
All right, so Bianca,
Yes.
what you think of Wolverine?
Wipe my butt quality.
Oof.
Oh shit, we 2 for 2 now. Oh shit.
Flip, take that shit. Wipe your booty with it. Look at it. You're never gonna get.
Nice. Yep. All right. So yep. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Some old bullshit. Or
Honestly,
wipe my ass call,
if it wasn't for Hugh Jackman, this movie would be like even shittier
What?
than it was.
Like one of the worst.
Like this movie was lucky that Hugh Jackman was still Wolverine.
Now here's the funny thing, okay? So there are 2 cases. Okay, after the movie came out, Origins Wolverine, there were 2 cases of two cases of adolescents injecting themselves with elemental mercury to believing the fact that they would cover their bones to metal skeleton. I know it's pretty stupid. Am I right?
I
well,
just want.
that was in the comic.
I just want to say one thing as well. The director of X-Men Origins Wolverine, I'm looking up the name right now. I know this guy can direct way better than what he was given with Origins Wolverine, because this guy, he directed he directed these two foreign movies that I thought were really good. One of them was called Tootsie, and that movie actually won the Academy Award for Best International Feature Film back in 2005. Like a great, powerful movie that takes place in Africa. He also directed Eye in the Sky, another great movie about drone warfare and all that. I watched these movies in my sophomore year of college. I had to watch them for a class. This guy's actually a really good director. Unfortunately, he was due to so much happening. This movie just was never going to make it, no matter who was directing it. So I just want to throw it out there that the director, Gavin Hood, is actually a really good director.
Yeah, that happens when you get a indie director doing a big budget studio film. That happens. So,
Wow.
Well, so we got Origins movie. So we got that movie out the way. Let's get something that's a lot more better. X-Men First Class. Oh man. So let's get back to the good stuff, man. And I think I've watched this movie a couple of times, but I don't remember that much though. It's been a while. I watched them. I never remembered like playing this movie on FX like so many times now. Like it's the home for this movie to be on FX, to be played so many times. But it's a good movie. It's a good prequel, and the cast is great. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence. Like back in the time where they actually give a shit about the roles before the subsequent movies with these characters, with these actors. But yeah, I mean, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I'm really blurring on it because it's been a while since I've seen this movie. But in terms of memory, the only thing I had to remember is the Wolverine cameo. Go fuck yourself. That's
good.
It's an iconic line, but
that's a good movie.
But yeah, I remember pretty fondly of this movie, even though I just can't really remember what happened. But I still remember really enjoying it. So I guess I'll give it some good ass shit. So I want to see what you guys think. So what you think, Bianca?
I remember there was like a lot of hate on this movie that I just bandwagoned on for no reason.
For no reason? Oh my goodness.
For no reason. And my cousin called me out on it, and he was like, but it's good. And I'm like, maybe. I'm gonna have to put it at let's effing go.
Okay. All right. See you, nerd.
I really love this movie. Okay, but y'all can talk about like when they announced, so people were done with Fox doing the X-Men movies. I think about time Marvel was starting up, the MCU was starting up. So they're like, no, we're done with Fox messing around with the X-Men. Give the rights back to Marvel and let Kevin Feige do his magic on it. But then they kept it, and then the casting, people were like weirded out about it, or were not sure. Like they have like McAvoy and Fassbender as Xavier and Magneto. Those are good casting. But then they go like who is it? Who played Beast? Nicholas Holton.
Yep.
That's weird. And then they go with Zoe Kravitz and Kevin Bacon, and there was all these actors, and people was like, wait a minute, let's go First Class. Where's Cyclops and Jean? Where's Angel? The Archangel. Where's Iceman? Where's the First Class? Where's the first X-Men? These are just randos. And then Mystique, and then Jennifer Lawrence. This is before Jennifer Lawrence became big. She was just even before her first Oscar or her first Oscar nomination as Mystique. And then she was like, And so people were not sure about it. Then the trailer came out, and then people started like, okay, I'm interesting. Love the 70s settings. I love like the look of it. It's set in the 60s. Sorry, I didn't say 70s. The 60s.
Yeah, 60. Yeah.
It was set in the 60s. So I love the aesthetic of it and the clothing and then how it looks. Kevin Bacon was great as the villain. I thought he was fantastic. And the Brotherhood was great as well. And then Michael Fassbender. He killed it. He killed it as Magneto. I was like, that guy really even better. Pretty much even better as Ian McKellen. I thought he did a performance, and then James McAvoy was also great. Even though it was a big cast, it got a lot of actors in it. I thought the plot felt wasn't jumbled a lot. I felt like I was following the story well. So this is top. This is
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's fucking go. I love it. It's one of my favorite.
George.
Oh boy, this is a really good movie, and it feels like this movie doesn't need to rely on the household names. This was my introduction to Jennifer Lawrence right before she was Katniss in the Hunger Games. I enjoyed the Wolverine cameo quite a bit. Revisiting Magneto's, origin, very powerful as well. Because I think this was originally supposed to be meant to be like an X-Men Origins Magneto movie, but after what happened with Origins Wolverine, it morphed into an X-Men prequel movie. And I really enjoy the partnership between Eric and Charles in this movie. I'm not big on how Beast looked in this movie. I think while Nicholas Hoult was very good in the role, I think how Kelsey Grammer as Beast looked in X-Men Last Stand just looked better. And that movie was 5 years older than this one. But as far as, revamping the X-Men movie, introducing us to other characters that weren't in the previous movies, I thought it was a very good, solid start, and Matthew Vaughn did a very good job with this. And like I said, I always wonder what would happen if he had directed Last Stand instead. So I would put this at some good ass shit. It's not perfect. It's not my favorite X-Men movie. I know more people love it than I do. I still prefer X-Men United and Days of Future Past, but it's still a very good movie.
All right. Okay. So let's see. I will put this.
I'll say
There you go ahead.
I'll say the scene where the scene where Magneto killed the Nazis in that bar. So damn good.
Oh yeah.
The movie's got really good action.
Really good action. Also, I gotta say, people can you just shut up about the whole Darwin death thing? Come on. It's been almost 15 years. Just let it go about Darwin's death.
Darwin.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the guy that got killed.
Yeah.
He had the power to survive.
But he didn't mention that he could survive everything. He said, "Well, I could just adapt everything." He didn't mention survive. So I don't get why people just shut up. Please, guys, stop it. Not you, but other people. The internet.
Is it not a play on Darwinism, evolution?
Yeah, that's what his name is, Darwin.
Oh.
All right, let's put First Class on. Let's fucking go. All right. This is gonna be an interesting conversation. So, I actually like the Wolverine. I thought it was when you compare it to X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's night and freaking day, dude. Different director, different direction. This is basically a sequel to The Last Stand, and I actually give them props that they actually want to stand their ground in continuing where The Last Stand left off. After he killed Jean Grey, he had this guilt in himself. It's not like whenever a movie continues a movie that not many people like, they tend to kind of just retcon this stuff. I like the fact that this movie actually has the balls to actually acknowledge what the previous film is happened, even though not many people like it, but they actually want to tell a story with it. And actually, I think this is the most really one of the more underrated comic book movies of all ever. Um, I like the fact that he goes to Japan, and he has to his immortality gets removed, so he has to deal with the fact that he's getting shot and stuff. Um, I mean, it's not for everybody. People think say that's kind of this is kind of a boring film. It's not that much action going on, but I like character. This is a movie that's about character. You know, it's about Wolverine dealing with the fact that he doesn't have this immortality no more. And then it gets to the action stuff. I mean, like the bullet train fight was cool. I actually did like the Silver Samurai fight. In context, it doesn't make any sense because the movie feels like this super serious film when you got this big giant transformer he has to fight. Sure, whatever. But as his own fight, it's a fun fight. I mean, I got no problems with the fight whatsoever, but it does feel a little out of place with the type of film that this is. So they want to let's just give him to fight a giant transformer, and that's it. So that's what that's supposed to be for. But yeah, I mean, I still do feel that this is a very underrated film to me. It's not perfect, but I like it as it is. It's definitely better than Origins Wolverine, like of our country mile. So I will have to give this movie some good ass shit. So, but Bianca, what you think?
Same.
Nice. Any details or whatever?
No, I don't remember much of it, to be honest. I remember liking it a lot, though. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
putting it on
I
there.
get it.
I was like, I remember this and this and that. So that should be good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and also that post-credit scene, good post-credit scene. All right, Senior Nerd.
I mean, I like it. Yeah, I mean, this is way better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. This is, and then Jason Mangold came in. Yeah, it felt because it was based on the Frank Miller Wolverine, surely mostly based on the Frank Miller Wolverine story where Wolverine went to Japan. So they had that part. I like some of the part where like he saved the guy from the nuclear blast that the bomb that dropped in Japan. I love that he saved him and he took the bomb and then killed him. I thought really it's a good movie. It was a very solid, and I thought it was led the right direction for what comes to Logan. And of course, there's a part where I forgot her name, but how he told Wolverine,
the red hair.
Yeah, she told Wolverine that he's going to die with his heart in his hand. And that's pretty much like the foreshadowing of Logan, the ending of Logan. What he says. Oh, speaking of which, of course, so supposedly, if you remember in the Leah scene, he was supposed to wear his yellow and blue suit with the mask. He was going to wear it, and he did. And then we had to wait for 9 years later for X-Men for Deadpool Wolverine. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know how long it is, but yeah, the Silver Samurai stuff. And then there was also Silver Samurai was silly, but Madam Viper was also way over the top. She was like
yeah, she kind of gives her Schumacher vibes a little bit.
Yeah, it was Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Literally, like she was like that. But I thought, yeah, and then the stuff where he's losing his power, I thought that was a good touch. I thought that was a good storyline. So I'll give this a good ass shit. I thought it was really good. I really like this.
All right, George, what you think of the Wolverine?
I think it's a crime that for the longest time this movie had the same IMDb score as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Wait,
Because
what?
this movie, for a while, I think that this had like a 6.7, and Origins used to have like a 6.7 or a 6.6. I don't know. This is why I don't trust idiots online. The Wolverine is way ahead of not just X-Men Origins Wolverine, but X-Men The Last Stand. In fact, if it wasn't for the third act of this movie, where it became another stereotypical comic book movie, the Wolverine could have been one of the best movies in the Fox franchise. You had Wolverine after the events of X-Men The Last Stand, still processing Jean's death, still grieving, debating on whether or not he wants to lose his immortality, or, well, not immortality, but like his healing that has kept him alive for so long. You've got the action that really goes into that PG-13 R-rated border. I'm not a big fan of the villains of this movie, and I think they could have maybe set up the Silver Samurai plotline better. Maybe they could have added like more of a mystery feel to it, as to like, oh, who is this mysterious new villain and all that, and then reveal who it is at the end, instead of kind of doomsdaying it. Like, this was Doomsday before Doomsday from BVS, like this big threat that's saved for the third act of the movie. But the Wolverine was one heck of a movie. It is a very good movie that I think deserves a lot better from critics. It's not the best movie, but it's still one heck of a movie. I would put it at some good ass shit. I could have actually put it at Let's Fucking Go if they maybe have done the Silver Samurai stuff better and had a better third act. That's how underrated this movie is, in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't see many people talk about the movie, but they only talk about the Silver Samurai stuff, which, like I said, I don't mind that fight. It's a fun fight, but it does feel out of place within the context of the entire movie.
But you're saying it's just one part of the movie. If you look at the first two acts of the movie, this was a really, really good movie. I don't care what anyone says. And I gotta look up the IMDb scores again, but I know for a while, this and X-Men Origins Wolverine had similar IMDb scores, which means either people were rating X-Men Origins Wolverine too high, or they were rating this movie way too low. I just checked, so X-Men Origins Wolverine has a 6.5. I don't know. I feel like that's still way too high for that movie. The Wolverine, 6.7. I don't get it. Yeah. For goodness sakes, this movie, the X-Men Origins Wolverine is rated higher on IMDb than Fantastic Four, 2005, and Spider-Man 3. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's get to the great one. X-Men Days of Future Past. All right. You know what? I'm gonna let George start and see what he thinks of it.
Oh, I love this movie. First of all, this movie came out at the perfect time. My friend was dealing with a family tragedy, so at the time, I took him to go see it. We had a great time, and the combination of both casts, the original and the new cast, I think worked out very well. Wolverine being the one who has to guide a really depressed Charles Xavier who's young. I love the concept. The Quicksilver scene, one of the best scenes ever. I don't care what anyone says. The fight against Sentinels, powerful stuff. Revisiting the 1970s right after Vietnam. I love history. I love the tie-in with history that's happening. You also see like Magneto's also grieving as well, because we find out like what happened to some of the mutants from First Class in this movie. I will say that if there's just one thing, because I haven't reviewed this movie on YouTube yet, but there's one tiny thing that I kind of noticed, and it's not a negative with the movie. It's a bit glaring. because obviously this movie came out in between the Hunger Games movies. It kind of felt like they were starting to turn Jennifer Lawrence, like Mystique, into like mutant Katniss a couple times. I was like, are you kind of really going in that direction? But outside of that, this movie was phenomenal. This is one of the best comic book movies ever made. And the thing is, this movie also came out the same year as Guardians of the Galaxy and The Winter Soldier, 2 other great comic book movies. It's like, you know what? It's really tough because any one of these 3 could have been. If you picked this, Winter Soldier, or Guardians of the Galaxy as the best comic book movie of 2014 or the mid 2010s, I wouldn't complain. This was an excellent movie that I think also gave closure to the original X-Men movies at the same time. Based on that ending, when you see some of the characters return.
Yep.
So I'm going for it. Let's fucking go. I honestly, I know I said before that sometimes I prefer X-Men United. No, I think X-Men Days of Future Past, as much as I love X-Men United and think that's a great movie, I think this movie is better than that. So this is top-notch superhero movies, not just top-notch X-Men.
All right.
And by the way, I don't mind the bone claws. So I liked how like Wolverine was in this movie in regards to his bone claws, taking more of a leadership, trying to be the calm one role. Very, very interesting situation for him.
All right. Senior nerd.
Yes, I too love this movie. I don't know if like my favorite X-Men movie, like the X-Men, not like with like along with Deadpool and then Wolverine stuff. But like the main X-Men movies. I don't know if I love this more or with X-Men First Class. I don't know if X-Men First Class is to me the best X-Men movies or Days of Future Past, because this was really damn good. They adapted the story. The cast was so ginormous. It's like the mixture of new actors plus old actors. So they mixed them together and it worked really, really well. And I thought the Sentinels looked great. Some of them, I thought that people want the big giants, like kind of like Pacific Rim, kind of like monsters, like the giant robots, like in the comics. I thought that the design was well, but I thought this was really good. To me, this was the part where people was like, you know what? Yeah, I think Fox knows what they're doing with the X-Men movies. I think it was like kind of like a good run. People was starting to really liking what Fox, a big turnaround, where they were in the lowest and then they went back to the highest. So, yeah, I'll give this. Let's fucking go. I love it so much.
Bianca.
I shall rate it on some good AC. I was in this hate train for a long time for like all 3 movies, so
Well, it's still good. So there's that. But yeah, for me, yeah, I do agree. Also, Quicksilver, MVP. Just to say that Quicksilver is great. I mean, I like Evan Peters in general, but Quicksilver, awesome. Just
Le Chef's Kiss.
Yep. Just repeating what you guys say. Yeah, it's a great film. So yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah, the Quicksilver's. I do like Aaron. I do like Quicksilver more in in the Avengers, Age of Ultron, because he was more of a character. This was a fun cameo. It was a fun scene. This Quicksilver in Days of Future Past. But it was still a great scene.
Well, it was fun while it lasted, so let's get back to shit.
Oh boy.
Let's get back.
Can I just say something before we get into this movie? Like, apparently I don't know how true this is. Apparently someone said like Fantastic flopped so bad that all the profit that they made from X-Men Days of Future Past, they lost. I don't know how true that is.
I don't think
so.
That's even
If so, though, you go from having at the time the best Fox movie to the worst one, once again ruining your reputation.
Yeah, it's no surprise that I gotta put this in here right now. I gotta put this in here.
I still haven't seen Fantastic.
You're not missing much, buddy.
Here's the thing. I was very impressed with the first trailer. I thought that's again. I was in the high of like Fox doing well with their Marvel movies, and I was one of the people saying, okay, we got the MCU, and we got Sony doing their thing with Spider-Man, and Fox with their X-Men and now their Fantastic Four. So it's like I thought it was a good thing going on. But then I started reading about problems on the set. And that was during the time I was listening to Midnight Madness. Before they went White Wing go broke, they were actually doing real stuff, talking real things, and they were reporting there was like massive like reshoots, and the director was being a problem. And then I heard something like there was a party and Rumi Mara soiled herself, and the director laughed at her and embarrassed her. It was this weird story about a party with Rumi Mara and the director that, and then he was like, it was the behind the scene was more fascinating than the movie itself.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, when the director goes out and insults his own movie, that's a sign that something happened.
He said like he want his name not to be part of it or something. It was like the night it came out, he tweeted it and then he deleted it, thinking like we're gonna forget about it. No, it was
Yeah, like, oh my goodness, man. Like, I just think the idea of doing a dark and gritty Fantastic Four film is a bad idea. Like, okay, looking back at the movie's trailers, my goodness, they were like you said about the first trailer. I thought the first trailer was good, not for a Fantastic Four movie. The movie, they were supposed to be fun and colorful and all this stuff. This is just drab. It's drab. It is boring. It's just so. No, it's just not good.
And then the suit was like the suit, the Fantastic Four suit was just not good, and the thing was naked throughout the whole thing, I think.
Well, here's the other problem. This is where the first Fantastic Four movie actually is at least likable and has become looked at more fondly. In the original movie, you felt like they were a group of friends that like each other, that, hang out, that have good chemistry. You have this talented cast that have no chemistry, that don't really seem like they really care about one another. It's just a group of strangers that to team up.
Sounds like my life.
There's nothing fantastic about them.
No.
And it's a shame because, Miles Teller was coming off Whiplash. This came out the year after Whiplash, after he gave that power performance. I don't know if any of you guys saw Whiplash.
I love Whiplash. He was great.
Oh, fantastic movie. One of the best.
That's what I was going to say. I thought the cast was really well done.
And also, this is the same year that Michael B. Jordan starred in Creed. The Rocky Legacy sequel.
Yep.
That was a great Legacy sequel. This movie came out months later. So it's like you had these actors that were either just recently had great movies come out with great performances from them, or they were having great movies coming out right afterwards with great performances. And it's just this movie came out at the same time as Ant-Man, and I know the first Ant-Man movie ain't the greatest MCU movie, but it's like, like people were saying, just go see Ant-Man a second time at this point. Like, at least you'll be more entertained.
But yeah, just looking at this poster for Fantastic, like, oh my god,
it looks so. Yeah, I think it made 20
something million. I don't know.
20 in domestically the first week, and then it bombed. I
well,
think it has the rare, like it had the rare double, like under 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like at 8%.
I think
or
it's at
something.
9. Let me see. I think it's at 9% as I recall.
It got trashed by the critics. Trash.
9%. Yep.
9. Wow.
Well,
Under 10.
here's
under
the other thing. We talk about how dark this movie is. I don't get why reboots were trying to follow the Batman Begins model. I mean, it worked just because it worked for Batman Begins. You gotta remember, Batman Begins was directed by Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy had a matureness to it, but it wasn't like dark. Like like the cinematography wasn't like super dark, and it was like it wasn't like bloody or like really violent. It was like action packed with dark themes to it, but it was still, anyone can still watch it. Like the Dark Knight, as dangerous and deadly as the Joker was, it wasn't that bloody of a movie outside of what happened to Two-Face. It's like this weird thing that these reboots had to be super dark. I mean, I know the Amazing Spider-Man tried to go for it, but you still had that Spider-Man tone to it at the same time. Fantastic Four just didn't have anything in regards to having a Fantastic Four tone. It's like they overdid it with trying to make it dark.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. It wanted to be darker than Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and it just... the Dark Knight trilogy was handled way better than this. End of story.
I think the director said he wanted to make it like what's the director's name? The director of the what?
David Cronenberg.
He wanted to make like a David Cronenberg horror sci-fi movie for the Fantastic Four. And people was like, well, yeah, because they're monsters. They be up as like Hulk. It's kind of like what Alien tried to do with Hulk. But Hulk makes sense because it's just this rage monster that's just this walking destruction that could wreck things. But Fantastic Four is about 4 scientists who get cool superpowers.
See, that's the problem. See, that's the thing. Like, because Josh Trank, I love Chronicle. I fucking love Chronicle, but I think he is the wrong choice to make a movie of this kind, like Fantastic Four.
Well, I thought the chemistry in Chronicle, the chemistry with the boys was great. So I thought he was gonna bring that to the Fantastic Four, but he didn't.
But he didn't. But
Yeah, and then my God, why can't we get a good Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom.
He looked like a crash. He looked like a crash test dummy.
That's what I said earlier. I was like, he looks like a crash test sex doll.
It just, the only cool part was like I just see this scene over again in like the trailers and in the clips online when he's just walking and he was like blowing people's head up with his mind. He's walking down the hall and it's like the lights flickering and then he goes, their head just explode. That's cool. But that's not Dr. Doom. It just, and it's not originally supposed to be like I don't know. It just, it's not. And then the ending where the thing's like, that's fantastic. And then Reed's like, what did you say? I think that's fantastic. Hey guys, I just thought of a name. Wow.
Yeah, that was stupid. So, Bianca, I'm sure you give it a wipe my ass quality.
Yes. I've never seen it, but I don't want to.
You're not missing much, Bianca, so good.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I know it's like it's.
Yeah. So it's play the clip again.
Take a wet wipe the booty, smell it. Your shit about to be fresh as fuck.
Yeah. So.
I want to smell it.
All right, so let's get to X-Men Apocalypse. So, funny enough, I have not seen this one.
Really?
I wanted to watch it, but I just didn't have that much interest in it. But I wonder, Bianca, have you seen Apocalypse?
I saw it in theaters, yes.
What'd you think of it?
I'm trying to choose between renting and some BS. I'm like, am I being too harsh on this movie again, or is it rightfully deserved? When they reference, the third movie is always bad.
Oh yeah. When they see after they see Return of the Jedi, like Return of the Jedi is fucking great. What the hell are you? Okay, I get at the time people didn't like Return of the Jedi, but still.
Pedro Pascal was actually good though. Not Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac. I'm constantly mixing up these two Hispanic guys. What the frick? I'll put in some old BS.
Okay.
It's probably not rentable to me.
This was pretty much a better X-Men 3. It is. It's everything I did not like X-Men 3. It was here in. I'll say this. It didn't really. It dragged in the first act and a half. It dragged. To me, it picked up when we got that's a good. Okay, I'll say this. This was I will say this. I really love the second that we got a second Quicksilver scene where he's saving the people in the mansion to sweet dreams.
I've seen that clip. That's a good scene.
You know what? I don't know if that's better than his scene in First Class, but it was very creative, and then the use of the music, and really that scene picked up the movie. For there, it was really, I thought it got better. There was also a great, it was obviously happened in reshoots, and it did like a month or 2 months before the scene, before they released the movie. But the Weapon X Wolverine scene, I don't know if you know about this scene, Blue Jay.
The Weapon X scene.
Wolverine as Weapon X.
Yeah, I've seen that clip as well.
It blew my mind. I wish I saw it in theaters because I thought it might got like the biggest reaction. But like he has like the helmet with the visor and like all the wires around, like exactly like in the comics. And I remember the toy when it came out. So he looks like the action figure Weapon X Wolverine. Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene. And then Oscar Isaac, I don't know. It wasn't his fault. It was the writing. Like to me, Apocalypse should be like Thanos. This should have been like a setup. Like they should have set up like since like it was a trilogy since X-Men First Class. They should have like done an end credit scene in each movie, setting up Apocalypse. He is a Thanos level villain, and it was kind of like he was just a villain of a week. You know, he was like just that's it, and then that's it. They never mentioned Apocalypse again. They just kill him and that's it. Like there was multiple episodes and seasons of Apocalypse in the 90s X-Men cartoons, and here he was just a one and done villain. So I didn't like that. I thought so. I mean, yeah, it's better than X-Men 3, but still not top. I'll give it in the rental.
Okay, go ahead, George.
This is a tough one because there's some things I like about Apocalypse. The Quicksilver scene was phenomenal as always. You know, bringing in Cyclops, Jean.
Oh yeah, that's
Storm,
those are good casting.
Like starting to bring those characters in. The Weapon X with Wolverine, great scene. This was close. While I think it's slightly better than Last Stand, I feel like it's going into that territory in regards to a lot of stuff happening. It kind of felt like they need to find ways to make the movie longer than it needed to be. Oscar Isaacs, he's not terrible as Apocalypse, but I feel like he could have been better. I will say it's not as messy as The Last Stand. And I don't know, this is also where I feel like Jennifer Lawrence, it's been a while since I've rewatched this movie, by the way, but it felt like this is when Jennifer Lawrence was really phoning it in.
Yeah.
And I noticed that her design as Mystique just started looking bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till we get Dark Phoenix.
Oh my! I didn't even see Dark Phoenix, but good lord, I've seen how she looked in the trailers, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be bad. So for me, I would just rent the damn thing, because like I said, I do think it's better than Last Stand, but I feel like this is one of those X-Men movies where it's not bad but disappointing, because we were coming off the best X-Men movie ever, and this was directed by Bryan Singer, right?
Yes.
Regardless of how I feel
What?
about how people feel about Bryan Singer, I always thought he did a very good job directing these X-Men movies. This was the fourth movie he directed, and he was coming off directing the best X-Men movie he directed.
And now I feel guilt now that I know. I didn't know.
And it was just disappointing. It just felt like
Yeah, I feel like
that X-Men magic that he would have just didn't carry on with this movie.
Oh yeah, I did like the casting of like what they got for Cyclops and Jean. I did like the actors with Storm. Like when they got the younger the younger versions of the X-Men from the first movies, like Cyclops, Jean, Storm, and Nightcrawler. I thought that was great casting. Once again, they wasted Psylocke. You got Olivia Munn as Psylocke, right? She's in this movie. She looks like Psylocke, but she hardly had no lines. She hardly speak, and I can't remember much of a standout. I can't remember like a scene like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, no, I didn't like how they did what they did handle Psylocke in the movie. And Angel too. Like how he died? Like they killed Angel. He's like was the original X-Men, and then he just died. Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Well, also, I just want to add, like, Jubilee, like, appears in this, and I was, like, finally excited. I was like, oh, great, we're finally going to get Jubilee. And, you know, she was meant to play a bigger role in this movie, but most of her scenes were cut. That was also disappointing. Release the Jubilee cut.
Yeah.
She was.
You know what? I'd rather make that a movement. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this while we're talking about cuts. The road cut of Days of Future Past also let's fucking go as well. If that was to be on here, because that was great as well.
All right. So let's give. Would you give this a rental?
Yeah, I would say it's a rental. It's not the worst movie.
Yeah, it's right above.
Yeah,
it's right above.
It's the most disappointing though, because I think this had the most potential to be very good.
As do all movies.
But but what I mean is like this movie, as far as I know, this movie didn't really have the problems that a Fantastic had or The Last Stand or X-Men Origins Wolverine had. Like it didn't have those problems, at least as far as I know. Maybe they did, and I just don't know.
All right.
It's just
okay.
Again, Apocalypse should be done bigger. He's a Thanos level threat, and he was just like they just killed him.
I hope when when the MCU does like have its own X-Men that they do Apocalypse well.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot.
Just don't cast The Rock as Apocalypse. Just please don't.
Okay, no.
Okay. All right. All right, but let's get to the great ones. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get to Deadpool, the one that.
Speaking of greatness, this is where I have to leave.
Why?
You tired?
I need food and I'm sleepy.
Oh no, you're good,
And then the
Bianca.
food will make me more sleepy.
Oh no, you're good, Bianca. Thank you for joining though.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. You have a good one, Bianca. You have a good night sleep. Eat good food, and yeah.
Oh
I'll see you.
shoot,
Have a
what
good
kind of
night,
food do I even
Bianca.
have?
Yeah, Bianca.
Thank you guys. Bye everybody.
Bye.
It was nice talking to you again.
Nice talking to you again too. Love it.
See you, Bianca. All right. God, I love Bianca. All right. So, all right, let's talk about Deadpool.
Yes.
We're
getting into the golden age of Fox right here.
Oh man.
Until Dark Phoenix.
This is the true meaning of Fox.
Well, until Disney purchased it.
Yeah, this is the true meaning of Fox going up and down right now. So like, yeah, we got some duds, but we got some goldness. So Deadpool, and it goes without saying, I freaking love Deadpool as a character in general. And this movie came out like 2 days before my birthday. Great birthday movie, by the way. And then it was great. I mean, there's really nothing else to really say about the movie. It's just Ryan Reynolds being just great as Deadpool. He's a great shit talker, and Deadpool's also a shit talker, so works really well. Fourth wall breaking, the soundtrack, everything about this is fucking awesome. Colossus and Mecha Teenage Warhead. I mean, really, what else could you really say? I mean, I've said this in DL spoiler mode Deadpool. Anything else me gushing about the film, and I consider the best. I consider this movie to be the best comic book film of 2016, better than Captain Civil War. All in all, this is literally one of my favorite movies ever. Just a fun time. So let's fucking go. Perfectly fitting, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
me.
Go ahead, Senior.
I see that it did. It came out same year as.
I think your mute. I think your audio is a little crazy. I'm just letting you know that. So. You good, sir? Senior Nerd? Well, it's so Senior Nerd is fixing his audio. I'm gonna go to George.
Oh man, this is to me one of the best solo superhero movies ever made. This came out at a time where I think the genre needed to change things around. It was starting to become cookie cutter, and Deadpool just changed the game. I remember this came out like a month before Batman vs Superman, and I was excited for Deadpool, but I wasn't as excited for as I was Winter Soldier, Civil War, and BVS. This movie blew me away. To me, this movie, I'm gonna be honest. As much as I love Days of Future Past, I think I love Deadpool more than Days of Future Past. To me, this was the biggest surprise of any comic book movie. It had a great villain. It only had a couple of X-Men members in the movie. That's all it needed. The fourth wall breaking, you could have easily failed at doing, but they succeeded at it. The love story is actually one of the better love stories in a comic book movie.
Right.
So, obviously, if cursing offends you, if you're not into graphic love scenes, very violence, this may not be the movie for you, but I don't care. To me, this is a let's fucking go. I honestly have no complaint about this movie. I honestly don't. Because I was rewatching it before, I was like, you know what? To me, this was my favorite comic book movie of 2016.
Yep, right up with you.
As much as I love Civil War, I feel like the first Deadpool has aged better than Civil War. That's just my opinion.
Interesting. All right. Sienna, are you there, buddy?
Okay, how am I sounding now?
So pretty good. It's pretty good.
Also, I must say, the supporting characters also make this movie great. Dopender, Blind Al. Although I'm not a big fan of T.J. Miller's character Weasel, but besides that, love this movie. A+ movie in my opinion.
All right. All right. Take it away, Sienna.
All right, yeah, I really love this movie. I actually read. Okay, so this was like development for like years and years. It's almost that the script was flowing around online, and I remember reading it on my old computer. And pretty much it was like I stopped it because it was really good. They even like I was watching the movie, and then the first act was like how I read in the script, including the part where Wade and Vanessa were like banging through the seasons into different holidays. That was in the original script.
Oh.
Yeah, and what happened?
Oh no, I was just nodding off what you said. That's all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like this was the first when Deadpool mask was expressive, so his face was like he was like stone. It was like his face, his eyes was moving around, and it was very expressive. That gave the idea for like MCU Spider-Man mask, where his eyes can move around, his eyelids. So yeah, it was really well done. It was so funny. The breaking of the fourth wall, mentioning Fox and messing up the X-Men Origins Wolverine. The funny part were like Colossus, which, by the way, Colossus was great, and the design of Colossus was so damn good. But he's like, I'm taking you to the professor, and Deadpool went, McAvoy or Stewart? The timeline is so confusing.
I love that. Love it.
That was such a good one. Oh my god, yeah. And then like
self-awareness.
The self-awareness, everything, yeah. It was so funny and so creative, and also because remember the leak that came out 2 years ago before the movie came out, or a year after that? The leak, I put in air quotes. This was like, it was the test footage that people got crazy over. It's like, it worked, and the marketing helped. And yeah, I thought this was the start of a really great franchise, and they really did a good job. And yeah, everyone was perfect as Deadpool.
Hell yeah, man.
So I put let's fucking go.
Yep, and this is fitting.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. And hopefully
also, I'd say this about Deadpool. Surprisingly, this is my mom's favorite X-Men character. In fact, this is like her favorite superhero franchise. And even though she said the violence doesn't always go with her, and she's also a Catholic woman. She just loves Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. She just loves the humor of these movies as well. So of all the comic book franchises or movies for her to love, Deadpool's her favorite one.
All right.
I mean, I'm pretty Catholic as well, and I love this movie. So nothing offends. But then again, nothing offends me in films. So I don't care. I just want great, entertaining movies. So.
All right. So let's hope we can keep this Let's Fucking Go train going, because we got Logan.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, we got Logan.
Now, look, I've watched a lot of comic book movies throughout the years, and I know there's a lot of people that has what they think is their greatest comic book movie of all time. Now, you hear me gush about Spider-Verse a lot. You hear me gush about Black Panther a lot. You hear me gush about Guardians a lot. But Logan, I consider to be the greatest comic book movie of all time. For reasons. I really love the setting of the movie. It's appropriate use of darker tones instead of just being dark and gritty for the sake of it. Looking at you, Fan Force Dick. Huge, like performance wise, it's great. I mean, you can tell. And then this is being at the time, the last time Hugh Jackman is about to play as Wolverine. I thought that was a good send off to that character, being based on the Old Man Logan storyline. It's not fully based. I know it's loosely based, but they take some liberties from it, which is great. You want to tell a much more deeper, darker, personal story. And man, this was great. And this is the first comic book movie I believe that won an Oscar for best screenplay. That's how good this movie is, dude. Hugh Jackman, Dynamite, Patrick Stewart was surprisingly funny as hell. Daphne Keane as X-23 was great. Villain were pretty good for what they've done. It's emotional as hell. It's just like, as somebody who's not that big in the X-Men like that, Logan really hits me. As someone who's not that big of an X-Men fan, but I really like these Wolverine movies. Well, this movie, it's weird. You have a trilogy of movies that started off pretty shitty, gotten better, and then your third film being the best one. Think about that. So, yeah, all in all, Logan is freaking a masterpiece in its own right. And really, clearly the best film in this entire X-Men franchise and the entire Fox Marvel films. Yeah, I would just take it away.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Yep, there's that. Go ahead, Senior Nerd.
I did like this movie. I'll be honest. I'm going to just go get. It was. I did fall asleep a bit when I saw this movie in theaters. So quick nap. It was like I never dozed off in one. It's a really slow burner movie, but it did pick up a lot in the middle, like when kind of like when the scene when X-23 finally talks. I was like, you could fucking talk. I thought, yeah, that was like really when the movie really got up. Yeah, it's fantastic. This was like very low budget, very down to earth, but great story, great acting. I'm surprised none of the actors got nominated for Best Acting Oscar, or this movie was like Best Picture in that year Oscars. You know, especially Patrick Stewart. I thought he did a phenomenal performance. And then this was what's her name who plays X-23? This was her breakout role.
Daphne Keane.
Daphne Keane, fantastic. And then I love when she came back for Deadpool Wolverine. We'll get to that, but I really like this movie. I think this is the better of the Wolverine. I mean, yeah, this is better than the Wolverine trilogy of the Wolverine movies by far. And I thought it was a good setup. Now, Deadpool, I love the ending. It kind of, it's weird because I saw, okay, so the ending was like, you know, Wolverine dies and they bury him, and then when they left, X-23 took the cross and then put it aside. And then at first I thought she was gonna throw it away because I thought she was gonna throw the cross away, but then she put it aside, and then I was looking at it, and then I heard the audience go, "Oh, X-Men!" I was like, "Oh, X for X-Men." It didn't hit me right away when she put the cross sideways to make it form an X. But you know, I thought this was a really good. I put this in the some good shit, some good ass shit.
Okay, all right, George.
Let's fucking go. I mean, there's not much to say about this movie. It was a fantastic movie. Probably the first time I got emotional watching a comic book movie in theaters. Obviously, the ending was very powerful. And we talk about Hugh Jackman, fantastic as Wolverine, but Patrick Stewart as Charles in this movie as well. Just the arc that he goes through as well. Yeah, let's fucking go. That's all I can say. To me, this is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. One of the best movies to come out in the last 10 years.
All right. Looking good on this list. Pretty interesting list we got going on. All right, let's get to Deadpool 2. And I was pretty pumped for this movie, like months in advance. I remember I was at school, and then I got the on my phone, there was a notification. There was a teaser trailer for Deadpool 2 where he was dressed up as Bob Ross. That one was one of the funniest things I've ever watched, and it got me really excited to go watch this thing. And the marketing was cracking me up. Like every time I see it, I was just laughing. Every time, it just gets me more and more hyped. And then the movie came out, did not disappoint, man. I can't say it's better than the first movie, but it's on par. It's like I can't say it's better or lesser. It's just it's like on the same level, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be better. It just needs to be fun, dumb, entertaining, fun. And I gladly what I got out of it. The one thing there's one nitpick I do have with the movie is that the movie looks a little drab looking compared to the first one. Like colors are very muted. It's not very colorful. It's just kind of dull looking, which is weird for a superhero comedy like Deadpool. But I digress. I can look past that. All in all, I like I said with DL's review of the movie, I really enjoyed this film. Though I like the X-Force deaths that they when they die in the thing, that was unexpected. That one made me just cackle so much. Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, also like the villain was just so non-existent. Like I forget who the villain was before the final act. I was just like, okay, he was just there. He was not a threat whatsoever. So yeah, like the headmaster or whatever. There's some guy at the school that's trying to. I have no idea. It was just a nothing villain, but. All in all, I mean, Deadpool 2, I consider it to let's fucking go. But there's just minor things where I do kind of want to take it away. That does kind of would do well without, but it's a let's fucking go. So there's that. So go ahead, Senior Nerd.
I say I was as much as I liked this movie, I was very disappointed by it because I love Deadpool. I was really excited for Deadpool 2. It kind of like fall into like, because it's a comedy, and most sequel comedies, it's a comic movie, but it's still a comedy as well. And the problem with most comedy is like you have to rehash old jokes in the sequels, and they really don't land, or make it kind of like bringing the jokes from the previous movie, and then try to make it bigger in times 2. I felt like they was trying to do that with X2. With Deadpool 2. Again, it was like there were some really good moments. How they got around with Cable, I thought I really liked Josh Brolin, which was like weird because I think this came out the same year. This came out the same month Infinity War came out.
Yeah, it came out like 2 weeks after Infinity War, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so he was like he was like in 2 superhero movies in 2 completely different roles, but like from like both Marvel, but from different. Yeah, it was so. But I thought it was well because I know that Cable's origins is so messed up. even when they try to explain it in X-Men 97, you're still confused. You know, like he is the son of Cyclops, and he's the son of Cyclops and the clone of Jean Grey, but he could also be Jean's mother, kind of. Yeah, it's just it is. Yeah, but anyways, but I thought he did good. I thought he looked the part. He looked really great. I said maybe my least favorite was like Juggernaut. Again, why they could do Juggernaut correctly? Juggernaut looked awful.
Really?
It looks super CGI. He looks super CGI.
I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big giant dude. I mean, like
I know, but like I just thought that I thought he looked like I was watching a CGI character. No, like
well, I understand, but like he's a big.
Okay. It came on the same month with Avengers: Infinity War. That looks great. I could see like the pores. I thought like I'd see like this was a. I know he's a CG. It's not actual. It's motion capture and CGI and visual effects, but he looked fantastic. But Juggernaut looks like a CGI thing.
Well, because this movie doesn't have the budget as a MCU film. It's like it's
no,
a.
I thought they put more budget in it.
They did, but
the
first Deadpool cost $58 million, then Deadpool 2 cost $110 million, while Avengers: Infinity War cost like what, $300 million. There's a big difference there, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, I thought. Honestly, I can't remember much. It's weird. Like I can remember a lot of Deadpool, the first Deadpool, and Deadpool Wolverine. I just saw recently, 3 weeks ago. But I still remember a lot of Deadpool Wolverine. I don't remember much of Deadpool 2. Only the final where like he was going to different time. He was messing around with the time traveling device.
Yeah, that was funny. That was hilarious.
I call it the part where he kills Ryan Reynolds before he accepts Green Lantern.
You walk to Canada.
Yeah, and then also he went back to X-Men Origins and killed the
shitty Deadpool.
Yeah, Rocket Pool. That's what they call it. And then when they killed Vanessa, and then they fridge Vanessa.
Yeah, that part was pointless in the movie. I'll give you that.
But they gave it the title with the Celine Dion song and like the what the fuck in the credits, you know. I thought that was fun, but there was a lot of good parts. You know what? I'll give it I might give it a rental. Just rent it.
Okay. All right. George, go ahead, man.
I love Deadpool 2. It's my least favorite of the Deadpool movies, but I still think it's a much better movie than people give it credit for. My only nitpicks, I actually like how Juggernaut was handled. I like that Dopinder had more to do in this movie. This movie introduced Domino, Peter, great characters. I also like Josh Brolin as Cable, although I think he's better as Thanos. I think the humor works really well in this movie. I like that kind of similar to the first movie that had a bunch of different tones, like, the love story, the horror story, the action story. You kind of have like a story of grief, the family story where he's got to find a new family. It becomes like a prison movie at one point in the movie. I like how they balance that all out. The kid Russell. Okay, I'm gonna come to the kid's defense here. I think he's meant to be cringe. Like he's meant to be this cringe kid that has this cringe line delivery. And the thing is, it's like when you see what he's been through, because like Deadpool sees that like he's been abused and all that. It's like, yeah, I understand why he's annoying Deadpool, because Deadpool is basically the first adult that had his back, that actually like did something nice for him in killing one of those people from the school that mistreated him. So you know what? I can't really even get on Russell for being an annoying kid when I also understand why he's like being annoying and all that. My nitpick with the movie. First of all, as I said before, I don't care about TJ Miller's character, Weasel. I don't like that he's in this movie more. The other thing is, and this is kind of something that I'm going to touch upon with Deadpool and Wolverine, it feels like after the first Deadpool movie, they just don't know what to do with the Vanessa character. They don't know what to do with her after the first movie. It's like you have this great love story from the first movie, and all of a sudden you don't know what to do with the love story.
Doesn't she
a
copycat?
Like outside of like that stuff, I really enjoy this movie. The stuff with the headmaster, like the stuff, like there's a reason why he's the way he is, and like the film articulates it so well, and I like the subtle jibes that they make in regards to culture at that time. Also the character Yukio, adorable, very underrated. Love her and Negasonic Teenage Warhead's relationship. And Colossus is still awesome as always.
Nice.
I'm just disappointed because I get it. I love what happened to X-Force. I thought it was hilarious, but as a fan of Terry Crews, I wish his character had made it out.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, in all honesty, I would probably put this. Oh, this is a tough one. You know what? Because I do like this more than First Class, I will put it at Let's Fucking Go.
All right.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
But it's not as good as Logan, Deadpool, Days of Future Past, and X-Men United. And it's not as good as Deadpool and Wolverine when we get to that one.
Okay, so we both give it LFG, Senior give it a Renault. I'll just kind of put this. This is fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I also know for some people that most people would rank First Class over Deadpool too. For me personally, like I get it, I understand why it's everyone's least favorite Deadpool movie, but I think it's still a lot better than what people give it credit for.
Right.
It's not as good as the first movie, but I also think it was the comic book movie at the right time, because the way Infinity War had ended on that bleak note, we needed some comedy.
Exactly. So
I was thinking about this. They had this really this perfect opportunity for a joke. Again, with Cable, his origins is really confusing. But the scene where like Deadpool was begging with Colossus to come back, and he was in front of the mansion, did the boombox thing, like in City thing.
Yeah.
And Domino and Cable were in the cab. I thought it was a good opportunity where Cable go to Domino and say, my parents go to this school. Just like, yeah. And then as they drive off, you see Taylor Sheridan, who plays Cyclops, who did a cameo. He goes on his head, he's going, "Hi, Dad," as they drove off. And he looks confused, like, what the hell? Yeah. Yeah, anyways.
Okay. Boy, let's get to Dark Phoenix.
I'm just going to say this. I never saw Dark Phoenix, unfortunately, because I did say I want to review all the X-Men movies. At some point, either the end of the remainder of the summer or in the beginning of the fall, I'm going to have to watch this movie for the first time, and I'm going to hate it.
Oh, well,
Well, here's the thing. The reason I didn't see it in theaters, not just because the trailers looked bad. I was on vacation when it came out. Then when I got back from vacation, Toy Story 4 came out. And I was like, I'd rather see Toy Story 4 than this. And then Spider-Man Far From Home came out. And the rest was history.
All right.
I too did not see this.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't see it, and the reason I didn't see it either because I lost interest because this was around the time. I think this is the same year that Disney bought Fox.
Right, and everybody lost interest.
And so I was like, I lost interest. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna wait. The next X-Men movie I'm gonna see is gonna be under Marvel. So, and I knew for the trailers like they didn't get Dark Phoenix again, did they? No, they did not get Dark Phoenix right again. They did it the second time, did they? Yes, they did. They messed up the second time. They messed up Dark Phoenix, son of a bitch.
Well,
yeah.
I'll say this about Dark Phoenix. It's pretty dull.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the actors feel like they're just kind of done with this shit. So,
Also, I didn't see the movie, but like, you remember the last scene in Apocalypse where they have their freaking costume, their comic book accurate costume,
and they got rid of that.
Oh god! And this was Simon Kinberg's like directorial debut. He's a writer producer, and it was his first movie. Like, you couldn't got anybody who has more directing credits than Simon Kinberg. Like, I know he was there in the beginning. I know he wrote some of the X-Men movies, and produced all of them. But he could have got professional. You couldn't got now a first timer, especially for like a Dark Phoenix.
Right. So yeah, Dark Phoenix. Nothing to really say about Dark Phoenix, and some little bullshit. I can't say it's not wipe my ass quality. It's just kind of dull. But I will give this the New Mutants. It's alright. It's alright.
I haven't seen it.
You ever seen this one, George?
New Mutants, no.
Oh, it's not. I can see what they were trying to do with this movie.
Maybe this movie was like shelved so many times. By the time this movie came out during the pandemic, and the people didn't bother to see it because they forgot about it.
Yeah, because I saw the trailer during back in 2017 when this movie was supposed to come out in 2018. Then it got delayed again and again and again for reasons I have no idea why. I guess it's pretty much the Fox merger, but like none other movies ever got delayed, but this one, which is kind of strange.
I think got like a massive reshots because the tone. And it's
so
so
the
weird
thing
because
is, like, there's no reshoots. There were no. Well, the movie wasn't reshot. It was just in its original state. So why the hell are you releasing an original film? You're getting delayed.
I thought it was like massive.
Well, I thought it did, but I don't know. It was just strange. But
well, also the thing was like who's like Maisie Williams. Well, she was like a teen, still young. By the time this movie came out, Game of Thrones was already done. Way before that. So, and then like all the cast were like young adults, almost teen, where they filmed them, where they did New Mutants, and by the time the movie came out, they were adults. That's how long this movie was on shelved.
Yeah.
To the point people thought it was gonna be like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, where it's like it was never going to be released. Like this movie, like remember they did New Mutants, but it never came out. I thought, yeah.
All right, so yeah, the New Mutants, like, I can see what they were trying to do, trying to make like this horror film with the X-Men stuff. Like Fox is pretty much experimenting with their movies. They did with Deadpool, with Logan, and this is their third attempt at doing this, which great concept. I don't think the movie wasn't that well executed to me. It was just like, it was alright. I mean, it got some moments. I haven't seen it since I watched it on HBO Max, but I mean, I would recommend this just if you're curious, but I mean, I can't say it's terrible. It's just kind of forgettable, but it's not really
Yeah,
that scary either. But it's just like I would just give this a gotta give it a rental or something.
well, you talk about the horror. It's what George says about making Fantastic dark and gritty. You know, again, it's X-Men, but the New Mutants isn't like a horror-based comic book series. They're like the extension of the X-Men. They're the spin off the X-Men. It's just like with younger characters. You can
Well,
make this like again. I know what they were going through, but that's not how they are in the comics. How these characters are.
I don't really care about the comic. I get what you're saying, but I don't think the comics hasn't anything to do. I kind of see what they were.
I know what they're going with, but again, like what George says about you don't go like dark and like serious for the New Mutants. You know, like they have their costumes, they have weird powers, they go on Avengers together. You know.
Yeah.
I thought they could make it like because it's directed by the guy who did Falls Within Our Stars. I thought it was gonna be like this coming of age like 80s who's the guy who directed The Breakfast Club? Forgot. John Hughes, like a John Hughes type of film for New Mutants, but instead they go with like straight horror. Maybe that was not the right tone to me.
No, I get it. So, yeah, New Mutants, this Reynolds, whatever. But, all right, let's cap this off with Deadpool and Wolverine, everybody. Man, oh man, who would have thought that we were getting a third Deadpool film in the MCU with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? It felt like a fever dream, but man, this movie doesn't disappoint. It does not disappoint. It is enjoyable as its concept, as it is, man. Like, now I can't say. Now I did say in DL's review, in spoiler review, I did say it's the best Deadpool movie. I'm kind of in and out on that statement, but I still think it's a less fucking go. I'm just kind of think it's on that same par as the third film because it's a lot more cameo fest. It's a lot more. There's a lot of shit going on, you know. So it's a lot more bigger scale. So, like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, great, perfect chemistry. I mean, those guys are friends in real life. I mean, they got great chemistry with each other. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, great as Wolverine. This dude can play this role in his sleep, basically. The villains, I just kind of like, okay. I mean, Cassandra was cool. I just didn't know which villain they're focusing on, but I like Cassandra. Mr. Paradise was alright. He was just kind of cool. He was kind of just funny. What kind of funny there, here and there. But the cameos, everybody knows about them cameos, but like the Blade, Elektra, fucking Gambit, stole the show. They were amazing. So yeah, there's really not much I can really say about it. I would just be like, gush this movie enough. This movie was great, amazing. Like, cue it.
Let's fucking go.
All right, so you're a nerd. Gush this movie as much as you want.
I'll try to keep it short, but maybe. I love this movie. This is top 10 MCU film. It's I had so much fun watching it. This is like the jokes got better. It was very well acted. The fight scenes was very well choreographed. The song, like everything about this movie I felt was right on the money. And see, Hugh Jackman coming back. I love how they explained that this is not exactly the Wolverine from the main X-Men movies. So like Logan wasn't a waste. The ending of Logan was a waste. This is a new Wolverine. So this is a different Wolverine. So that But still, the bye 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 beginning with it, I was losing my mind. Well, like Deadpool is using the skeletons of Wolverine to the tune of "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC. I was like, okay, let's fucking go. And then, yeah, the cameo was so well done. They were not glorified cameos just for like to get the big theater pop. They were characters, and they were meant they were like the part of the plot of the movie. You know, they were like you talk about X-Force in Deadpool 2. I thought that's what would happen to them. Like they're going to like as soon as they show up, they get killed right away. As a funny, goofy.
Half of me was expecting them to die because when he went to the Ant-Man lair, but I was like, you know what? No, they actually kept them because Blade was kicking ass.
Oh my god! Everybody got, and then I gotta say, I am more every time he's becoming mean. I'm more into liking Channing Tatum as Gavin because honestly, when I saw this in the theater, I thought he looked great. The way he was in the move, the way like he was moving around, and he using his power was great. But every time he talks, I couldn't. I was like, okay, he's being goofy.
I ain't for myself.
But then I keep hearing it say, "Oh, I'm about to make a name myself." And I was like, you know what? I get it now. Like I know it's a more over top cartooning Cajun accent, but I started now going around that. You know what? Maybe he was not the worst part. Cassandra was like I thought was really great. I don't know why people really didn't like her. I thought she was a really great villain. As something I noticed in the middle, they did while watching the movie in theaters. They did close up her face, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when they did close up her face, I think to myself, because she's playing Xavier's twin sister, and I was like, you know, she does resemble a little bit of James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's like I could see a little bit of James McAvoy, but I also could see Patrick Stewart in her face. You know?
You know, I get you.
Yeah, I think like she's a great actress, but I think that's what they went with when they casting her, because she does look like she could be related to either of those two actors. You know?
You're right.
And the way she uses her powers, where she's like, you know, moving the fingers around their face and then going through them, it's like,
that's creatively crazy, man.
Because that's like in the comics. That's like how she does use her powers in the comics. And I thought that she was very. I love her character. I love she was very charismatic. Yeah, and then like the living, like the Elected Percy, where they were going through the different Deadpools in that one shot. The one vertical shot. Overall, I thought this was fantastic. I thought, I just love this movie, and it's my favorite. It's the best of the Deadpool movies. And it's a let's fucking go.
All right, George.
This is a let's fucking go. Like I said, like before with Deadpool 2, one of the only concerns I have with this movie is, again, they just don't know what to do with Vanessa's character once again. Instead, her and Deadpool are broken up, which confusing that they went that direction, but okay. The way the beginning of the movie, when he's digging Logan's grave, using his bones to take out the TVA, goated, along with using that song from X-Men United, from, you know, Bye Bye Bye. Great choice. And also one of the characters I was in the car when that song was played, Pyro, in the movie quite a bit. Cassandra, the Cassandra Nova, it took me a while to kind of like come through it with her villain, because at first I was like, she was fine, but nothing special. But the more I think about her, the more I think she was a pretty good villain. Not the best, but pretty good. The cameos work very well. They're not just like they're actually important to the movie, including Laura's cameo. Daphne Keane did a great job. I loved seeing Wesley Snipes return as Blade. That was great to see.
That was shocking. I'm still in shock.
The thing is, this was a love letter to the Fox X-Men universe, or you know what? This was a love letter to Marvel outside of the MCU and Spider-Man. Like that doesn't like the Marvel stuff that's not Spider-Man or MCU related, because we always talk about the MCU. We always talk about Spider-Man, whether it's MCU Spider-Man or Sam Raimi Spider-Man or Spider-Verse Spider-Man. But we never talk quite enough about not just like the Fox movies, but also Blade. Like Blade was in this movie. Great to see Channing Tatum as Gambit finally. And, you know, Hugh Jackman still has it as Wolverine. He's still fantastic as Wolverine. And I love the car sequence where, you know, he's really tearing into Deadpool and hurting him with words right before they have that really cool, crazy fight. Violence, the action right away. They really go for that R rating. Yeah, this is a let's fucking go. And to me, this is probably my fifth favorite of these movies. Logan, still my favorite, then Deadpool, then Days of Future Past, and X-Men United. This is in fifth place, and I love seeing the suit finally. Hugh Jackman wearing the suit.
Yep. And like I said, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Also, the credits.
Jordan,
I love the credits to this movie. The tribute to an era of comic movies that wasn't always perfect, but really paved the way.
Yeah,
All right, let's take a look at this list right now. All right.
I say I gotta say I'll be honest. I was emotional seeing the Green Day Time of Your Life tribute to the Fox Marvel movies. Even though I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's some crap, but they paved the way for a lot of today's comic movies. And I thought that was a really beautiful tribute. Because I think about it, it's like it was very like it started Hugh Jackman's career, and it saved Ryan Reynolds' career. Because Green Lantern killed his career. It was like over for him after Green Lantern, and Deadpool and Fox saved him, and now he's like a billionaire with his advertisement and you know things like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really liked the Green Day tribute.
Yep. And this is our list for our tier list for the Fox Marvel films. So what you think of this tier list? Do you like it? Did you hate it? And I guess that's it for this stream. I want to thank Bianca, RJ, Senior Nerd, and George for joining on this live stream. And yeah, it was fun. It was interesting to look back in these types of movies and to see what has gone up and down and all that stuff throughout the years. And what a good 24 years, you know. So in my next tier list. Next Monday, 2 weeks from now, I will be doing a tier list on the movies from the summer of this year, ranging from The Fall Guy, Inside Out, Deadpool, Wolverine to Alien Romulus. You know, movies from May to August. So stay tuned for that, you guys. And I want to just thank everybody for joining. And I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. So, later.